Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
Mojo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, the mighty Mojo 50.
Coming to you live from the Mojo 50 Freedom Dojo on the banks of the beautiful Mojo River. With its crystal clear blue water flowing right through downtown Haltom City, a city steeped in history and rich with culture. And, the French restaurants, if you haven't been to the French restaurants in Haltom City, Texas, let me just say, you're missing out. You are missing out.
I started to say I would run right out and take a picture, but it's a little dark.
It's dark out there right now. You can't even.
Picture wouldn't turn out very well.
No, and the polar bears out there, they're a little cranky in the morning. Speaking of cranky, who was it over on the Twitter just now that said, it's misogynistic slut shaming something. Make with the yuck yucks today, guys. I'm sleep deprived and cranky at the world in general. Yeah, well, bite me, so am I.
Yuck.
I woke up in the middle of the night with the neck spasm thing again. So that's been fun since about 1 in the morning. Yeah. I love getting old. I wonder if it beats the alternative.
You
never know. You just don't know.
You don't know. That's the thing.
Just don't know.
And damn it, nobody will tell us.
Doc's not complaining. Leprechaun 420, Yippers, happy Lil Fry, yay.
Has he started drinking already?
I don't think it's drinking.
Oh.
Zig the Gator, morning sexy. Flip-flops can be used. This, by the way, is...
Who's he talking to, morning sexy?
Okie Cougar said, I don't know, everybody in the MeWe chat room, just so they can't say that I've ignored them, which I didn't really ignore them yesterday. I'm just making up for it. Flip-flops can be used for fighting my mama. For fighting, my mama used to throw them at me and use them for spanking all at the same time. Okie Cougar 73. So many pieces of the puzzle are falling into place over in the MeWe chat room. So we'll get started here. The things are on fire, man. The struggle for power and glory in the world continues. The images out of the Gulf of Oman this morning. 2 oil tankers damaged in a suspected attack. Navy's Bahrain-based Fifth Fleet told Reuters it was assisting 2 tankers in the Gulf of Oman after receiving 2 distress calls. Details of the incident unclear. One of the operators, though, made an unconfirmed report that a torpedo had hit its ship. Now, there's another site is saying that that one of them, although it's not confirmed, the Front Altair, the Marshall Islands flag tanker damaged in Thursday's attacks, has now sunk, but that's not confirmed. That's and also it's according to Iranian television.
And nobody's saying who they think has done this, right?
It's all it looks, well, no, I guess not officially, but it certainly smells like it could be Iran. And there's actually some video from I don't know if this is I have no idea what channel this is, Sky News, but there's some video of it. She's apparently saying something about burning ships. Or not. Maybe she's not saying anything about burning ships. But there's some video located in here. I think they will... that's all animation. Well, if you go by their animation, it's 2 burning ships. And so we'll keep an eye on that because that's... it's going to be another hot spot. And if that turns out to be Iran...
Well, I think we sent ships over there.
Yeah. So it's heating up. That's about all you can say about that. We'll just keep an eye on things as they move along. Here's another. This is they voted yesterday. House committee yesterday voted to hold both Attorney General William Barr and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross in contempt. They are for refusing to comply with the subpoenas for documents related to the decision adding a citizenship question to the 2020 census. This is that whole thing. On this census, we want to ask whether or not you're a citizen. And oh, no, can't do that. It's upside down. Nothing makes sense anymore. It truly is upside down.
You know, we had one Republican, Brad, that voted for that.
Yes, I was just about to get to that. Here he is.
Crazy.
Yeah, the man we've all been waiting for all of our lives. Someone said here recently.
Exactly.
Someone is apparently in love with Justin Amash. Not quite sure what his motivation is, but whatever. I hope they have a great relationship. Remember, Amash 2024. Whatever the hell that means. Representative Justin Amash of Michigan, who has said he supports an impeachment inquiry against President Donald Trump, was the sole Republican to join the Democrats. So good for him.
Yeah.
So now
look, I'm all about standing up for what you believe. But let's try not to be a douchebag.
I'm just not sure exactly, and no one's been able to explain why putting a question on the census, which is supposed to count the people in the country and is used for determining resources, why we can't ask if they're citizens.
Exactly.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Well, you know, the argument is that if that question is on there, then this person will not fill out the form. And if they don't fill out the form, then we don't have a true and accurate number of the number of people in the United States, which is what they're going for. They don't give a damn about if you're a citizen or not, which is funny.
If the question is on there, they won't fill out
They won't fill it out.
What makes them think they're going to fill out the form in the first place?
They don't know that, but that's their argument. If the question's on there, they won't fill it out. And if they don't fill it out, we don't get an accurate number.
Yeah, we're not going to get an accurate number anyway.
We never do.
No. So that's what they're arguing about up on Capitol Hill today. And meanwhile, we need some transition music like the old sitcoms. Dun, 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 dun. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, the citizens there are regretting letting the government take away their guns.
What?
Yeah, I know, right?
What?
It wasn't long ago that millions of Venezuelans fell for the oldest trick in the book, voted for a sweet-talking leftist politician. This from who wrote this? This was Baxter Dimitri, the leftist politician who immediately set about dismantling their right to keep and bear arms now that the government has descended into tyranny and turned Venezuela into a socialist hellhole where everyone is starving to death. Those same people now regret giving away their right to bear arms in self-defense. So an object lesson here for the folks in the United States who want to travel down the same path as Venezuela by banning guns and implementing socialism.
Brad, let's just say for the sake of argument, we are 5 years away
from
a leftist taking over our government.
You're pushing it that far down the road, huh?
Well, I'm hoping.
I'm thinking like 5 minutes away.
All right. And then attempting to take away our Second Amendment right to bear arms.
Yes.
What happens in the U.S. if that occurs?
I don't know, and I've asked that question before. What does because if
do we have another civil war?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I know personally many people who will die before they hand over their weapons.
Yeah, and that's just it. If they eventually, they'll never come door to door. They'll know.
It's happened.
Everything is. Everything's up in the air. We never would have seen, just for example, the abortion bill in New York.
Right.
Yeah, New York.
Right.
Or in Virginia.
Yeah.
But the one that passed was in New York. We never would have 10 years ago. Never would have thought that would have. Yeah, right. Late turn. Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now it's why is this all that? Why is this any crazier than that? Why wouldn't they come door to door? It's
a tough thought. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
I don't think these are not the yucks I think they were looking for. I don't know why. No, I want to be wrong too, but I don't know what happens. I don't know if it's fighting in the streets. I have no idea. I don't know. But
wow.
That's why
I pray that day never gets here.
No kidding.
I really do.
It's Venezuela implemented their gun ban 6 years ago, just before the nation descended into that chaos that we are all seeing now. James Woods tweeted this out yesterday. Hollywood's favorite strongman banned arms for citizens. It's not ended well for those starving to death under a social dictatorship. It's getting crazy down there. And here's the thing: it's like a blueprint for, hey, this is what happens when you do this.
I just find it funny that nobody who's pushing socialism right now sees that.
No, they I don't know if they make the connection or not, or they just are trying to avoid it.
Exactly. That's what I think it is. I think they're trying to avoid it so that they can convince everyone that we can do it better.
Right. Yeah,
we can make it work.
They didn't try it our way.
We'll brute force it.
Yes.
Or you.
You know what? If you just cooperate, it won't end that way. That's what happens.
Just lay there and shut up.
Yes. That's what happens when you don't cooperate. We're just saying if you cooperate, it's not going to end that way. So, look, you want that or do you want it our way? We may not have to worry about any of it because a new study has predicted a super flare could hit Earth within the next 100 years and shut down all of the technology on the planet.
Well, that sucks.
These aren't the yuck.
That's not the yuck either.
I'm still looking for the yucks. The sun could wipe out humanity within the next 100 years when it unleashes a huge super flare.
Yeah.
Super. The storm of deadly radiation threatens to take out all technology on Earth, potentially causing trillions in damage and sending the planet into chaos. Much like Venezuela. Scientists have repeatedly warned of the danger super flares pose to, I keep wanting to say superfly. Superfly pose to mankind, and in a new study predict one will hit us in the next century. This is according to The Sun over in England.
This is according to The Sun about the Sun?
Yeah, it's not The Sun. It's the S-U-N.
The Sun told us that it was going to send a super flare.
Yeah. At least they warned us. At least it warned us. Studies show super flares are rare events, but hey, there's the possibility we could experience such an event in the next 100 years or so. And remember, this is just the backup system to Yellowstone. So if it's not Yellowstone that gets us
the super
right.
flare.
I mean, nature has a way of having backup plans for everything, so it'll get you at the end. Which, speaking of, we got the video of that from the Matador as well.
Nice.
This morning. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. Well, you know what? There's got to be a good. Let me see here. Here. This should be. This is a more of a lighthearted story. It's the story of Lily, who's 10, and Joni, who's a year old. They're out playing in the frolicking in the rain. No, this is not the story either.
That's not the story. I saw this story.
Yeah. They were both struck by lightning and killed during a thunderstorm. I should clarify, they are giraffes.
Yeah.
They are giraffes living at a Florida wildlife park. They were playing in the frolicking in the rainstorm, as they say, on May 3rd. But they were both hit by lightning. What are the odds? What are the odds of two giraffes, not one, but two giraffes getting hit by lightning? And that on top of, remember the motorcycle rider in Florida earlier this week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lightning is out to get us.
I'm going to tell you, I have a fear of lightning now. I didn't used
That's
to have.
because it'll kill you.
I used to sleep well at night, knowing it was lightning outside, never thinking that it would bother me until that crap struck the the top of my house, right above my head where I was sleeping.
Yeah, at least you're okay. Remember, the other stuff is just stuff.
It was just stuff, a lot of it.
But the good news is now I know two people whose houses have been hit by lightning, so the chance of me getting hit by lightning
are getting better.
way down. I also kind of figured that death by train is probably not in my future either.
There is that.
They're not sure what's killing the horses out at Santa Anita, but Governor Newsom out there in California has ordered the racetrack to be closed following 29 horses being dying there in the past month. Is that the past month? Is it?
Were they running on the track when they died, or was it just training? Or what?
24 horses been died there this race season, not in the past month. He said in the press release on Tuesday, he was calling on them to end horse racing at the track until the assurances the facility is safe. He said with the 2019 Breeders' Cup set for November, his announcement comes days after the Stronach Group, which owns Santa Anita Park, decided they wouldn't close it, so the government is going to close it for them. It was prompted by the death of Formal Dude, who was euthanized following Saturday's race. Then on Sunday, the racetrack suffered its 29th death when 3-year-old Truffalino died of a heart attack. Those two deaths prompted, of course, PETA to jump in and ask them to close down the park. So something's going on there. We just don't know what. That's a lot of horses to die in the course of
That is a lot of horses.
That can't be good for business. And it's a free. Have you ever been at a horse race when that has happened?
No.
What race
when
was
one
I
breaks
at?
a leg or something?
Yeah, when
No.
one goes down. I was at one, and it's just weird.
Did they have to put it down in the middle of the field?
No, it wasn't in the middle. It was off to the side, but it was just. I remember the air in that place was like, whoa. Nobody wants to see that.
No,
obviously,
not at all.
And so it's kind of weird.
It's probably traumatizing for many people, especially the younger.
That and the owners of the horse who are watching several million dollars
go poof. Yep.
I mean, I'm sure they love the horse, and I'm sure they talk to it every day, but mostly, whoa, look at those dollar signs going down, 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 because that's an investment right there. So I don't know what's happening out there in California, but it's not good to be a horse, at least not in that state. I've got the two things, actually. First of all, if you haven't yet gone to eBay and search for Doc Thompson stuff, we still have some things up there that, 5 or 6 auctions that end on Friday evening. So the theory is you start and end auctions on a Friday night. This has been my calculation, because what happens is that people get all liquored up, and then by the time the auction ends, I mean, there's not, by the way, little personal aside, just if you ever decide to drink, you shouldn't go on eBay, because you'll end up buying all kinds of stuff.
Oh, all kinds of crap.
Now, with that said, make sure this Friday night you drink and get onto eBay and look for Doc Thompson stuff, because prices go through the roof. Doc Thompson stuff on eBay.
Yeah, I like that.
And we'll have more stuff. I was looking through what we have left. There's a few things.
My wife is one of those eBay queens, if you will, and she likes to do that whole sniping people at the last minute.
Is that
But eBay has that where you can do it, where you can snipe people. It's the online auctions where every time someone bids, it adds time to the auction. Have you seen those? There are some out there that
on
do
eBay?
that. No.
Oh, right. Yes.
No,
So,
eBay is where you can snipe somebody out
yeah.
right at the last second.
Yeah, some of the other auctions that the problem is eBay kind of has a monopoly going on the whole online auction thing, which
they
good
do.
for them. They built it up, whatever. But they what other auctions are there? I'm not sure I know.
She
of any.
found a couple of them that actually allow that. Then she'll message me here in a second. But it's those that when you can't snipe somebody out. I mean,
Ultimately,
it adds another 30 minutes to the auction.
Right.
If somebody bids in the last.
I know what it was. It was Bid Gunner. There was a client at the other place that was guns and accessories, the same thing. At the end, if somebody else bid, it added, 5-10 minutes to it. So it was pretty cool, actually. It's kind of fun. But you had to buy bids and...
Oh, yeah, you'll run through some money if you go to one of those auctions. But on eBay, I mean, you can wait till the last few seconds, and that's what she does. She preps the screen and gets everything ready, and then watches it count down, and boom.
Yeah.
Then she hits it.
Yeah. Sellers love that, because all you need on eBay as a seller is 2 people who want the thing badly, whatever it is.
Yeah, and typically you only need it in the last 3 minutes. Because that's when the bids all come in.
Yeah. I have a story about eBay.
The one from this morning?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll wait and tell that a little bit later. It's I just had my I already
That's a
knew
little
it.
yuck.
That is kind of
The way you read it.
yeah, that's true. You know what? What the hell? So yeah, the problem is there's wackadoodles everywhere you go in this world, and apparently a lot of them are on eBay, and with the magic stuff that I sell, there's a magic people are a different crowd, and I say that because I are one, and they're just
read that like a movie script when you do it.
So this guy there's a guy that has bought stuff for me, but he's crazy as a rat in a porta potty. I cleaned that up. And he bought something from me. He returned it, and
eBay's not a friend to the seller.
No, it's not a friend of the seller. As a matter of fact, eBay even said that to me. There is no such thing as seller protection on eBay. So I said, so somebody lies and cheats, I'm pretty much at their mercy. And they said, yeah. And I was like, well, all right. Thanks for being honest. I appreciate that. At least I know where I stand.
Thanks for protecting the merchant.
Right. And I kept it. No matter, you go through this thing, you say, well, okay, I'll be glad to refund the purchase price, but why am I refunding his shipping? The shipping went to the postal service, not me. Why do I have to refund his shipping on something? That makes no sense whatsoever. Get the postal service to refund it. I didn't,
have him pay his own shipping to get it back to you.
So anyway, they said, well, and every time I'd say that, I'd try to get them to explain why, I had to pay his shipping. What we do is we debit you for the shipping and the blah, blah. And I'm like, I know what you just said, but what I'm asking you is why you're doing it. And did I just delete it? Surely I didn't delete it, did I? Oh, no, I know I didn't delete it because I think I took a picture of it. Yeah, I did. Anyway, so this guy writes and says to me, I'm never ordering, buying another, and I'm reading this the way he must have written it. He goes, never ordering, buying another anything from you ever again. LOL. I've paid you more cash for semi-worthless stuff. I'm like, dude, that means that you're the idiot, because if you're paying me for what you think is worth, all right, good. I'll take the compliment. For you to make a stink over lousy $15, you're a sad dude. Really? Over a magic trick worth nothing. Well, I don't know. You thought it was worth
Then again, he paid $15
you
for it.
thought it was worth $15. Ha, 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 he wrote. Maybe instead of purging your magic closet, you should purge your brain. Anyway, weird dudes. So many of these magic sellers are weird dudes. Hope you find peace in that big magic sale. Ha, ha, ha. Good luck, bro. And by the way, F Trump.
There it was. There it was.
I'm like, wait, what? F Trump?
We got to the ultimate reason for his message.
F Trump?
What did Trump have to do with my magic?
Do anything.
He knows where to find you, Brad. That's what
I know.
it is.
Yeah, well, I own guns, so bring it on.
And right now he's listening and going, I wasn't drunk. Why you read that like I was drunk?
Then he's just stupid. I'd at least blame it on the alcohol if I were him. It gives you a semi-coherent excuse. Otherwise, you're just a moron. But hey, whichever way you want to look at it's fine with me. Yeah, the eBay world out there is just full of strange people. Strange people, and eBay does nothing to protect the sellers. So if you buy one of the Doc Thompson stuff thingies that we have on there and you come back at me, I know where you live. I will hunt you down.
eBay cracks me up.
It used to be sadly it has just become
it's a lot better. It's a lot better though than buying something off of Craigslist.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you're local, you can go look at it. Don't get me wrong, but
I kind of enjoy the random encounters with people on Craigslist.
Oh.
There was this one guy named Bambi. Oh, I don't have time to tell you a story. Sorry. In the meantime, go to Mojo Wild Rice. You won't find any crazy there. All you'll find is good eating, especially if you are a barbecuer. You need the grilling sampler pack for this year. It is on sale still right now. I believe a promo code still works, too. Grill 10. You do that, you get 10% off. If you are a grilling fool this summer, you need the grilling sampler pack with all the goodies that you can put on your meat, your fish, your meat, your vegetables, your potatoes. You got the Northwoods jerk seasoning in there. Not the same kind of jerk that the guy is who wrote just different kind of jerk seasoning. Awesome flavor on pork and salmon and chicken. You can do that dry or oil rubbed. You can use the raspberry wine jelly as a delicious base for marinades. That's how they say it in French. Marinades, dipping sauces. It's all at mojowildrice.com. And remember to use the promo code GRILL10 to get 10% off your purchase there.
Brad.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about this thing on the table today?
Yeah, we're going to, the thing that's covered by the botulism blanket.
That is a burrito blanket.
It looks like a botulism
It
blanket.
does. Kind of looks like it's dirty on one side.
Tortillas are not rectangular in shape. So the Chinese need to...
Whoever said that.
Yeah, the Chinese need to remake their pattern for a burrito blanket.
I'm intrigued, brother, honest.
Well, you'll see. It's kind of fun. We'll get to that here shortly. And we believe have a guest calling in. So many things. I wonder if it's the idiot who wrote the letter. We'll find out. Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. Mojo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. On D-Day, we remember the sacrifice. We remember the bravery. We remember the months of preparation needed to plan for the attack that would ultimately turn the tide in World War II. Yes, thousands died that day, but they also made a grand difference in the direction of the world. Today, before most Americans were up and starting their day, our president was over in France delivering an incredible address. Here's one of my favorite parts of it.
To the men who sit behind me and to the boys who rest in the field before me, your examples will never, ever grow old.
The speech saluted the French. The speech paid tribute to the men who died on the battlefield and honored some who were there today. It was just so well done, and he wrapped it up as expertly as you could imagine.
May God bless our great veterans. May God bless our allies. May God bless the heroes of D-Day. And may God bless America. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And that's how it's done. Presidentially, brilliantly. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MojoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MojoWildRice.com. MojoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
All right, you get your communiques in and use the hashtag What I Learned Today. We will try to get to your little communiques if we decide that they are entertaining enough. Larky up in Farkin. You can always count on him. Craigslist is like eBay, except instead of selling something like a radio, you donate your wallet or a kidney unwillingly to the buyer. Here's the thing.
I don't do anything on Craigslist. It kind of worries
You
me.
listen to all the headlines. Just meet them in a parking lot in the middle of where there's people all around you.
Yeah,
Plus,
that's true.
Here's what I do. You just have a crazy look in your eye when they walk up to you. Hey, you here to get this? Because here, I've got it for you.
Or you just wear your gun on your hip.
Yeah. Or you could just get out of the truck holding the shotgun.
There is that.
That really cuts back on any sort of aggression on their part.
By the way, for people who are wondering at this very moment whether we're a live show or not, yes, we are a live show. I apologize for the
Why would we not be a live show at this point? I mean, if you're listening to the podcast, go ahead, try to pause us right now.
We got the D-Day thing from Opelka just now, and I think it's because he hadn't updated the file for today yet.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I was over here doing something.
I think I'm going to move those down to another hour.
Here's the thing: when it is not, there's no sin in giving them another shout out.
That is a fact.
You can't.
It was a good speech.
Can't do it too often. JJ tweeted what I learned today. Apparently, Real Brad Staggs is selling magic to Cooter Brown. Yeah, except not quite as sane. If you want to follow us, it's Real Brad Staggs and Real Ron Phillips on the Twitter, and you can get your messages to us that way. If you have not yet gone to lovemytummy.com, make sure you do that as well, because if you are suffering from abdominal discomfort or bloating or body inflammation, that's not a good thing. And Atron Teal can help. You'll get your polyphenols with Atron Teal, and you'll get a deal if you go to lovemytummy.com/mojo. You will also see Dr. Ken's sister right there, just happy as a clam, happy as a pig in mud, happy as a polar bear on the banks of the Mojo River on a day like today.
You worked it out. I love
Yes,
that.
without any bloating or any of that abdominal discomfort. That's lovemytummy.com/mojo. Now, when we're talking about inflammation, obviously one of the worst places you can get inflammation would be in your brain. We call that a concussion. Dr. Michael Lewis joins us on the phone right now. You are the founder of the Brain Health Education and Research Institute and author of When Brains Collide. Dr. Lewis, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing fabulous, except for a neck spasm. And since you're a doctor, can you tell me why my neck is spasming?
Absolutely. Come to my office, and I'm happy to see you.
I want the freebie right now. That's what I want. So, in recent years, we'd heard a lot about concussions when it came to football players and the traumatic brain injuries and all of that. And in the past, I've heard about kids with concussions playing sports, but it kind of, I don't know, it kind of died down. I mean, we just haven't heard about it in a while. So it's a bigger problem than I think a lot of people realize. And according to the statistic I found here that you said, out of the 3 to 4.5 million concussions every year, almost 2 million are children aged 19 or younger. That's half to 2/3 of all of the concussions. That's pretty wild. What is it?
If you think about it, kids are out playing. I mean, they're riding skateboards and bikes and on the playgrounds, and they're the ones playing sports. I mean, when we get, fat, old, and lazy, we aren't playing sports as much.
No, I trip and fall a lot, though, which can lead to injuries.
Well, there is that. I mean, the elderly are the second biggest group. I mean, because of falls. As we get older and we lose that muscle tone and all that. But yeah, I mean, kids, they should be outside playing. They should be playing sports. So they're just a lot more exposure.
All right. So first of all, how common is it? I mean, is this if you've got kids, is this like a 1 in 10 chance that your kid is going to get a concussion? How common is it?
It's actually, if your kids are playing sports, it's actually, I don't want to throw a number on it, but it's certainly
more common than people think.
It's more common than people think, and sometimes parents won't even know it, won't even see it, or kids won't talk about it. You get thrown off your bike, you bang your head, you get dazed and confused. And you just get back on your bike and you ride home, and you may not say anything to mom and dad. So it's really hard to estimate how many concussions actually occur because not all of them are reported.
Well, let me ask you this then. How can a parent, what are the warning signs that a parent should be looking out for what would they look out for to even suspect that their child may have had a concussion?
Well, that's a great question. So if assuming that the kid, you didn't witness it, playing soccer or,
right,
they didn't say it. One of the things that I look at is when a kid just starts not being themselves. So they become, a good kid starts to be much more irritable and, just a personality change. That's a huge thing. We're at the end of the school year, and a straight A student now all of a sudden is really struggling in classes or even failing classes. Huge warning flag. And I see that all the time where the kid didn't, especially an athlete, high school or even college athlete, just doesn't want to make that known because they think they're going to get pulled out of the game and whatever, until the wheels come off the bus and it's too late.
And and for those who don't know, go ahead and define exactly what a concussion is.
Well, it's hard to exactly define it, but what the generally accepted thing is, it's a blow to the head that causes a disruption in the normal function of the brain. Now, that leaves the gate wide open for lots of interpretation, but that's the general accepted.
The way I'd always had it described to me was that your brain basically slams into the inside of your skull. Is that accurate?
Think about, I always look at it, one of the best ways to describe it is you slip on the ice, your feet go flying, and you hit the back of your head. That's, everybody can picture that happening, right? Either from a cartoon or on TV, or it happened, unfortunately, to themselves. So you hit the concrete. Well, your skull comes to a rather sudden stop, but, things in motion stay in motion. Right. So the brain keeps moving, and it's not going to stop until it has something acting on it, which is going to be hitting the inside of the skull. And that slamming of the brain against the inside of the skull can cause a bruising or a contusion, and certainly concussion. But the other thing that you don't necessarily realize is the brain's complicated. It's not jelly in a bowl. It's not a homogeneous thing, right? The brain's got multiple sort of sub parts to it that are different densities, and they're going to stop at a different rate. And so that twisting and pulling of those connections between the different parts of the brain, that's actually what can cause most of the damage, not just that direct blow, that direct bruise on the brain.
And it's not just short-term damage either. It's the effects of a concussion can go on for days, weeks, months, years. Is that right?
Well, look at Muhammad Ali. Look at some of we hear about NFL football players, I would say even decades. Muhammad Ali takes a few punches, I would guess, as a young man. And, he didn't do so well in his older age and died of Parkinson's. The whole CTE conversation with football players, for example, the similarities, the underlying unifying thing is inflammation. And when there's inflammation in the brain and it doesn't get taken care of, doesn't get resolved, it can burn and churn through the brain for, like I said, months, years, even decades. And that's what we see in these players.
Well, yeah, and it's inflammation anywhere in the body, obviously, is often what leads to our downfall. You've come up with a couple of, I guess, essentially treatments. You found that the omega-3s actually can help with concussions and brain injuries.
Right, and I wouldn't call them necessarily treatments. I call it targeted nutritional therapy, and because we're not talking about a drug, we're not talking about a cure, we're talking about addressing that underlying foundation. So how do you resolve inflammation? That's the big question. And really, the only effective way to help resolve inflammation is what you consume, whether it is your diet or is it, supplementation to the diet. And so I just had the idea the brain's made of fat. Let's use that fat in copious amounts to see if that's going to help. I was in the Army, and I was looking at it and help soldiers recover from traumatic brain injury. And the answer is when you use omega-3s in high enough doses, you can make a big difference very quickly in somebody's life, help decrease those symptoms, turn that ship around, and make a big difference.
And something that caught my eye as well, you're also using hemp-derived CBD oil. which if everything controversial, talk about something that's controversial at the top of people's minds in states across the country. CBD oils, I think, are one of the most misunderstood remedies, I'll call them, out there on the market because there's such a stigma surrounding anything that has anything to do with the cannabis plant, et cetera. But CBD oils, these are actually derived from the hemp plant, right?
It's actually, I like to use the derived from hemp plant.
Mm-hmm.
Hemp is 100% legal in the United States now at the federal level.
Mm-hmm.
States can be more restrictive if they want. But so hemp-derived CBD oil, it's, you combine that with the omega-3s, it is exponentially better to help resolve inflammation, not just in the brain, but around the body as well. And it really has to do with, our bodies are designed. We have these receptors. We have this system of receptors and the things that interact with the receptors that is now called the cannabinoid system. We have all these receptors in our brain and basically the happy molecules that interact with the brain. What CBD does is it helps potentiate those happy molecules, keeps those happy molecules around longer. You think of a runner's high, for example. We used to always call that endorphins,
right.
But now we know that's our own body making cannabinoids to interact with our brain to keep us happy. That runner's high. And fish oil, omega-3s, and cannabinoids are actually interplay with each other. And so that's one of the ways that omega-3s actually help with traumatic brain injury is it helps stimulate the cannabinoid system in a very positive and beneficial way.
That sounds interesting. If people want to get more information on your book, the Institute, the Brain Health Education and Research Institute, where do you suggest they go? Are you on the social medias?
I'm on social medias, but basically I'll give you two websites that are the best way to reach it. Well, number one is my book, When Brains Collide, what every athlete and parent should know about the treatment and prevention and treatment of concussions and brain injuries. Mm-hmm. So When Brains Collide, it's available on Amazon. And when I retired from the military, I started a small nonprofit, and the website for that, lots of great information there, is www.brainhealtheducation.org, brainhealtheducation.org, Brain Health Education on Facebook, and Brain Health Ed on Twitter.
Cool. All right, Dr. Michael Lewis, again, thank you for your time this morning. And again, it's one of those things that it usually, pardon the pun, isn't top of mind because it seems to have gone out of the news cycle. But concussions are still happening every day, and people need to be, especially got kids, people need to be aware of the symptoms. And even if, as an adult, you have a fall, like you said, and I think you called me old earlier, but I'll let that slide.
No, I think I called myself old.
I'm just clumsy, and I'm old too. That's all right. But always be aware of the symptoms of a concussion and at least get it checked out as soon as possible. Dr. Lewis, thank you again for being here.
My pleasure.
You bet. I think he did call me. I think he called me old. He said the elderly, and I'm pretty sure. I mean,
he was talking about you.
I mean, I was going to have to take him down. See, CBDs, we're going to find out, just like in the future, 10 years down the road, we're going to discover that the cure for cancer lays somewhere in the human gut bacteria somehow. It's going to be all traced back to the gut biodome. We're also going to find out that CBDs were like the miracle cure for everything.
Yeah.
And there was such a stigma surrounding them. That and the fact that drug companies hate competition. Especially, I mean, the whole hemp thing is just silly. Just, hey, it's related to that marijuana, and you can't have that.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. It's a fight. You want to talk about a renewable resource?
But here, drink this fifth of whiskey.
Right. And then that's the alcohol industry.
Yep.
They hate competition too. So, well, then, with all due respect, they did have to fight for it for about 13 years.
They did.
about 100 years ago. So anyway, it's fascinating. A friend of mine had a fall from a bicycle here not too long ago, and whacked her head a little hard too. And it's funny because you can become a little stubborn with a concussion. I'm fine. You're not fine. Get it checked out. Just be on the watch. Something will may not give you a concussion, but it'll scare the crap out of you. The sky deck at Chicago's Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower. So the sky deck is 50 stories above ground, and it's got a glass floor. And as people are up there,
hell, I would do it, but Matlock would not. Matlock wouldn't even be up there to begin with.
Well, the glass floor, it cracked, it shattered.
What?
Well, people are standing on it. It was pretty. No, well, here's the thing. No. I'll tell you. And I've watched this video before, and maybe you can see it more clearly. Hey, look, it's a commercial.
Vicks VapoCool.
Hold on, I want to hear about Vicks VapoCool.
With an intense rush of Vicks Vapor.
Hey, when you take Vicks VapoCool, do you blow out that blue
and
smoke?
do you sing like that? That's
right.
What I want.
I want the choir of angels when they come through. It's our choir of angels.
When a nasty cold will let you sleep, try NyQuil.
Just get on with it.
I want to hear about NyQuil. Stop. He's blowing out the blue flame too.
NyQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching,
you get a chorus
medicine
and a little alcohol too. So this the sky deck has a little extra layer on top of it there on the tower. They likened it to like a screen protector on a cell phone, and it was the part that shattered. But all these people were standing around on it apparently when it did, and it freaked them the F out, which I can imagine it would if when you're standing on that, it is your brain does not. Your brain has a hard time computing that there's a floor there. I did this at the CN Tower in.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. Boom. And it's not the first time this has happened up there at the tower. It's cracked before. And I guess they either don't know what's causing it or they do, and it's not that big a deal until it is a big deal. But your brain, here comes the NyQuil commercial again. Excuse me for a couple of minutes. When you're standing there on the glass, and I've never been to the tower in Chicago, but the one in Toronto? Yeah, somewhere in Canada. Hey, all looks alike. Your brain has a hard time making you take a step because your brain is just screaming at you. Ah! No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's a video out on, I just saw one the other day of a guy at the Grand Canyon out on the observation.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like holding on to the and screaming.
And he just can't move.
No,
I mean,
he's terrified.
It triggers this locking your legs down kind of thing. I mean, ultimately, they have one that's got actually a TV screen, and when you step on it, it makes the sound cracking, and then it shows that it's cracking.
Wow.
There's a lot of videos of that out there. It's hilarious. People just panic.
But it's weird. You think you can, and I'm sure that there are some people who would not bother, but for the majority of people, it's called your brain wants to survive, and therefore does not want. It's the same thing that tells you to stay away from a bear. Except for those stupid people like Bob.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing when you try to take a step on these glass floors. It just, you have to really force yourself to do it. It was a very strange experience. But when you see the glass start cracking under your feet, that would, I would scream like a little schoolgirl. That would be terrifying.
Do you figure that's tantamount to jumping out of a plane with a parachute?
I don't, I think I'd like to try that.
Skydiving.
I think I would like to try
My
that.
brother's done it a couple of times. I never have. Ironically, I'm the one that packed parachutes for the military, but I never had to jump.
No. Hang on. I don't know if that's some sort of euphemism.
I said parachutes. I didn't
know
say
what you
shoots.
said. I didn't. Hey, whatever you want to do in your spare time is fine. I thought you had to pack your own parachute.
Well, in the Army, you actually pack your parachute. They're called riggers. And in the Army, you pack your own parachute, or you pack parachutes, but then they grab one off the shelf and say, here, let's go jump with it. Keeps you honest, right? In the Air Force, you don't have to do that. In the Air Force, there's just enough inspections on the parachute that you don't have to jump with it.
Somebody else packs your parachute for you?
Somebody else packs your parachute for you.
Did you enjoy having your parachute packed? Or
I did not have my parachute
but
packed.
you loved packing those other chutes.
I packed many of pilots' parachutes.
All right. We'll just leave it there. I don't think
There's just no easy way to say that.
No, there's really no getting out of it either. Uber's not giving up on their little scooters. The bike rental thing is still not catching
These
on.
little scooters like this right here, they're all over downtown Dallas. All over downtown Dallas.
Uber, the jump scooters are?
Yeah, the little jump scooters. And they're parked everywhere. They're just laying around.
We had the bikes here in Dallas for a while.
We did have the bikes. Now we've got the scooters.
But the same thing happened with the bikes. They were everywhere. They were like, there was a park over in Irving that flooded every time it, a couple of drops of rain fell from the sky. And when the park flooded, 2 or 3 of those bikes were just laying in the flood waters over there.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And maybe these programs work.
So I got this explained to me this weekend while we were driving around Dallas, and there's a bunch of people
packing somebody's chute.
No. But these scooters are just laying around everywhere. You walk down the street, they're just laying there.
Right.
And basically, apparently you use your phone to rent the scooter.
Yeah.
But they all have GPS trackers on them, and apparently overnight, a group of people come around and gather these all up and recharge them and then drop them right back off at their little.
It's like Westworld.
It's crazy.
At night, the little portals open up in the street and people come up out of it and they do all their little thing. They're munchkins. They hire. That's why you never see munchkins on the street.
The thing I found was funny is you can't send a kid out on a bike or a scooter nowadays without a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
None of these have helmets with them.
That's a good point. Yeah, because you are more likely as. I would think that there probably are more people who would get on one of these that have never ridden one.
It'd be like the Segways. You seen those videos of people riding the Segways and they just lose their crap? Because those Segways will take you on a ride.
Yes, they will.
They'll throw you like a bronc.
Uh-huh. They and no one believes this, but the guy who purchased the Segway Corporation from the original owner died going over a cliff on a Segway.
Oh.
Look it up. They say the new scooters are bigger and they're made with a more durable frame. You can read that fat people were damaging the old ones. And in L.A., they were when they had the first generation of scooters out there, the green ones, people were wrapping those things around telephone poles. Just trying to bust the crap out of them. They just hated them. So these new ones have a smoother ride. They've got bigger wheels, and it's they are going to be showing up everywhere. I just don't understand it because I've never seen anybody riding them. Like you said, I've only seen them parked or sitting in 2 feet of mud, which I just can't be good for them at all. Cuba Gooding Jr., we talked about him. Was that a couple of days ago now?
Yes, it was, actually. Wow. 2 days ago.
That is...
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah, been accused of grabbing a woman's breast at a nightclub. The hell else are you supposed to do at a nightclub? Dance? Are they crazy?
He actually voluntarily turned himself in, from what I understand.
Well, they had video of him there, so it was kind of pointless for him to be on the run.
But he denied it.
Well, yeah.
He's like, I didn't grab her breast.
But he's standing there.
Her breast fell into my hand.
Lawyer for Cuba Gooding Jr. says surveillance video shows the Jerry Maguire star is innocent of groping allegations at a Manhattan rooftop bar. Now he's reconsidering turning himself in.
Oh, there you go.
To authorities in New York, according to the reports. After saying Gooding had plans to surrender his sex crimes detective today. That video from Magic Hour Rooftop shows absolutely no criminality taking place on the part of my client, so they're not sure if he's going to or not. And in a related story, Keanu Reeves, and I love the way that they are presenting this.
Oh, I've seen these pictures. They're great.
He doesn't touch people when taking pictures, and he's such a gentleman. He's smart. He's not. I don't think it has it. He is smart. He realizes that if you can see his hands,
the hand that's around the person, look at his hand
and
in all of these pictures.
He's got it wide open there. Is that he with Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
No, he's got his hand on the wrong side, but that's okay. Over here with two.
The hands are out.
I don't know what they do, but they are. He attracts hot women.
That looks like when he was training for John Wick.
And his hand is not touching them. Like over here, it's right up underneath her armpit right there, so you can kind of see his hand. But that's called a lawyer told me to do that so that I will never get busted. But what will happen is that
Oh,
He is manhandling that dog. Do you see
Keanu Reeves and a puppy?
Wow. Do you see where his thumbs are?
Does it get any better?
He's right on the dog's nipples.
He is.
You can see him plain as day right there. That is disgusting. What a horrible excuse for a human being this Keanu Reeves person is. No, somebody will just come out and say that, well, it was right after he took the picture that he grabbed me. And this is a valiant attempt to escape the whiny of the pound me too generation. I shouldn't assign that to the entire generation, just the whiners that seem to be a part of it. I don't. The human race is doomed. We are just doomed. But until we are extinct from the planet, you should probably take good care of yourself, because you don't want to walk around knowing that you're doomed and limping at the same time. If you get out there and get some exercise and eat the right foods, it's hard to do, really. I mean, try to find the time in the day to do it, and it really takes a lot of dedication.
It's the preparation that gets me.
Yes.
I know what to eat. I know how to eat right, but it's the preparation. I'm always grabbing something fast to get on, because I'm always on the run, it seems.
That's what got Cuba Gooding Jr. in trouble.
I know, grabbing something fast.
But you're right. If you take a little time, do meal prep, that sort of thing, that's what the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge over on Facebook is all about. It's with Gwen Rich from The Rich Solution. So if you want to make some positive changes in your life, that is a dandy support group just for you. And the best thing is, they're not judgmental in front of you. You'll never hear them judge you. They do it privately. You'll never know. They're a good bunch of people. And you can learn how to make good smoothies. Go to the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge and to the richsolution.com.
You know what I'm being told?
Yes.
Another actor that does that.
Who?
Keeps his hands open when he's taking pictures with fans. Steve Carell.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. That's an attorney.
Yeah,
that's an attorney going, okay, here's what you got to do.
I keep my hands open. It's much easier to grab their butt with that way. I mean, if your hands are closed, it really is kind of weird. So, Smacking Duck says I could do a pretty good Foster Brooks if I wanted to. I think he's been drinking.
Good.
He's not usually this nice. There's something wrong with him. Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The U.S. Navy to the rescue. The Fifth Fleet assisting in the evacuation of dozens of crew members from 2 oil tankers hit by explosions in the Gulf of Oman. The BBC's Frank Gardner.
There were 2 distress calls made by the crew of these ships saying that there was a fire on board. There appears to have been some kind of explosion that preceded that. The UAE authorities say that this took place in international waters and around 32 kilometers from the coast of Iran. It appears to be, but not confirmed, some kind of deliberate attack. There are unconfirmed reports that it was a torpedo. Another source suggested it could have been a mine, but it's not just a simple fire.
The U.S. blamed Iran for previous attacks on 4 tankers in the Persian Gulf region. Tehran denied any involvement. If a foreign power offered him dirt on a political opponent, President Trump says he'd be willing to listen. He says he might or might not call the FBI.
It's not an interference. They have information. I think I'd take it. If I thought there was something wrong, I'd go maybe to the FBI if I thought there was something wrong. But when somebody comes up with Oppo research, right, they come up with Oppo research. Oh, let's call the FBI. The FBI doesn't have enough agents to take care of it.
The president in an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos. Protesters in Hong Kong singing hymns and holding up signs criticizing police violence a day after street clashes left dozens of people injured. 6 arrests so far in the Dominican Republic in the shooting of former Boston Red Sox slugger David Ortiz, the suspected gunman among those in custody, according to authorities in the Dominican Republic. Wall Street this morning, stock futures are higher. Dow futures up 64 points. NASDAQ futures better by 31, and S&P futures up 9 points ahead of this morning's opening bell. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Okay. Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson for Matthew 25 Ministries. Matthew 25 Ministries is one of the few charities I'll actually endorse because I know them. I've worked with them, and I know almost all of the money that you donate goes to help people. Go to m25m.org. m25m.org.
Radio's so good it will knock you out of your seat. Uncommon Sense with Bill and Jen, Monday through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Mojo 50.
Do you like good coffee? I do. Do you like amazing coffee drops? I do too.
American Pride Roasters, historically great coffee. Did you know if you drink APR coffee or eat APR coffee drops, it will instantly heal any ailment you have?
The legendary Fountain of Youth wasn't just one fountain, but actually many fountains close to each other. Each fountain had a different APR coffee in it instead of water.
Coming soon to APR is Washington, D.C. blend. It is just a bag full of hot air.
APR coffee drops are not just a superfood. They're a super duper ultra mega Doppler food. They are by far the healthiest thing you can eat.
Want to know the secret to what makes APR taste so good? They use the happy tears of unicorns. Go get yours today, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Get yours today.
If we weren't so bad
to puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50.
The mothership has landed.
Jill Holeless in Seattle. Using the hashtag What I Learned Today, the sky deck of the formerly called Sears Tower on the 103rd floor, 1,353 feet above the ground, has been reopened. According to the Chicago Tribune, the sky deck can support the weight of a couple of elephants at a time, until such time as it cannot. And then it makes headlines. Mojo Jedi bike helmets are part of the wussification of America. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I just...
Dude, I'm going to tell you, when I was young, I'd get on a bicycle. I didn't have a damn helmet. I was jumping ramps and stuff like that. And look at me now.
Yeah.
I'm in radio.
Just look at you. now we know what happened to your eye.
Wait a minute.
Further explanation. No, when I was a kid, living at the trailer park in Indiana, of all things, we used to play a little game called, it wasn't really called Chicken. It was called Get Out of the Way of the Bicycle Before He Hits You. Not kidding. We would stand with our back toward the person riding the bike, and as soon as if we heard them get really close to us, we were supposed to jump out of the way, and I didn't. And I went down like a sack of wet cement, and I remember I had a piece of gravel go through my lip. And my point is, the guy riding the bike wasn't wearing a helmet either, so he was just as crazy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I don't think a helmet would have helped me. And I've ridden a motorcycle without a helmet. But the problem is you just never know. And I tend to agree with you on the bicycles, except I've noticed the older I've gotten, it hurts just to fall from a standing position. It hurts. If you are standing on the floor and you just fall over, if you just drop to the ground, it hurts. So I still don't think that will, still don't think that'll make me wear a helmet, but it's just it's just one of those things where as you grow older, you become, I think, a little more conscious of things like that. David Ortiz is he is recovering in New York. Let's see what the latest is on him. Whatever's going on in the Dominican is, there's people showing up dead, and now with David Ortiz shot. Although I think there's more to this story that will probably be coming out. David Ortiz is in Boston, I believe. He's taken a few steps, so he's okay. They had to perform emergency surgery to remove parts of his colon, intestines, and gallbladder to save him before he was flown to Boston for an exploratory procedure. Authorities there have arrested a man that's in the Dominican Republic. They've arrested a man connected with the shooting, though they're still looking for the shooter and others who may have helped plan the attack. Apparently, the guy who pulled the trigger behind him, the crowd around Ortiz, chased this dude down and beat the crap out of him. It beat the crap out of the shooter.
Oh,
because they love Big Papi.
There you go. The story you told me this morning is a plausible story.
There's something
else there.
Something is not. We haven't gotten all the details of this, so there's something unseemly that is at the heart of the story, and it either involves a woman or drugs.
Okay,
somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but somehow in there somewhere there's a woman to blame. Women will make men do crazy things. It's all the women's fault. Up in New York City, upstate New York, man, they are cracking down on crime up there. It's a good thing we have the authorities to take care of the population and save us from, let's say the unsavory element of society. Here is the story from ABC News up in New York.
10-year-old boy in upstate New York is inspiring new legislation with his entrepreneurial
Ron, if we can see that full
spirit.
screen.
That is after an inspector for the state's Department of Health shut down Brendan Mulvaney's lemonade stand. The 7-year-old was selling lemonade for 75 cents a cup on his parents' front porch across the street from the Saratoga County Fair. Vendors there complained, and Mulvaney was told he needed a permit to operate his stand.
After the vendors complained. Oh.
Now a state senator is drafting what he calls a lemonade law to keep child-run stands open.
They're 7-year-olds out in their front yard selling lemonade. Those are not the criminals in New York State.
There's more important things in life than
Texas just passed that too.
Shutting down a kid's lemonade stand.
See, when you have to actually vocalize those two statements in society, there's something wrong.
Brendan's father says they will get a permit and they are going to keep operating the stand for the summer. They plan on raising money for a family friend's upcoming surgery.
It's just so...
Texas just passed that too.
It's beyond stupid, yes. Governor Abbott just, he signed the... Well, and I agree, common sense law to allow these kids to sell lemonade.
Did you ever do that when you were young? Lemonade stand?
Sign legislation that would allow kids?
No, lemonade stand. I did.
I can't remember if I did or not. If we did, we probably put something in the lemonade. We were usually out throwing water balloons at cars or doing the string trick across the street.
We used to have police officers come by and they'll stop, grab some lemonade, and talk to the kids, and then be on their way,
And that's when you hit them with the water balloons?
No.
While they're driving away? Oh. Here's Governor Greg Abbott.
Here is a common sense law. It allows kids to sell lemonade at lemonade stands. We had to pass it because police shut down a lemonade stand here in Texas. So kids, cheers.
There you go.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
If we do a screen grab of that right there, we can get the governor's signature and we can sign all kinds of We'll sell Greg Abbott merchandise on eBay with his signature.
We'll call it Greg.
Yes. All right, now erase that part of the tape so nobody knows what we're going to do because we get in big trouble if people knew we were forging his signature. The lemonade, that is beyond comprehension. In what was it, 2015, when the cops here in Texas did the same thing. It's just ridiculous. And for those vendors up in upstate New York to whine about the kid across the street selling.
Here's the thing. The permit and all of the regulations that surround food service, it's understandable because a kid selling lemonade, you don't have a clue what's in his lemonade, right? You don't. But the thing is that their kids selling lemonade.
And it's not about drinking the lemonade. It's about, if the kids are out there, it's about giving them the 50 cents and letting them, and you don't have to drink it, throw it out. Just give them the money.
Yes.
And, that sure is good lemonade. And then when you go, hey, look at the bird up there, and they look up, you throw the lemonade at the other side.
You don't have to drink it.
No.
Just stop by and give the kid some money. Jeez, he wants to buy a freaking bike.
Just drive by and throw your wallet at them. Throw them a credit card.
I do that every day,
It's
Brad.
about this. You see? Yeah, I know.
I get the drive-bys. I throw my wallet at her.
Yep.
She goes and buys a bunch of clothes.
See? She's trained you well is what it is. She has trained you extremely well.
Talking about my wife. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you were talking about your wife. Oh, I should probably clarify that. If you are a owner of a weapon at your home and you don't have the gun box, or you don't have your weapon securely stored somewhere, you need to do that. And as much for your safety as everybody else's. Somebody breaks into the house, you don't want them to be able to get your gun. And I am not aware of any other gun safe that not only combines the looks and the conveniences of the gun box, but also allows you to sign up for the mobile alerts that will let you know if anybody's messing with your box at home. You don't want people doing that.
I foresee a new business.
Mm-hmm.
Alerts to let you know if someone's messing with your box at home.
And possibly your gun safe as well.
And your gun safe, yes.
Yeah, so if you sign up for the gun box mobile alerts,
wow.
That's why Keanu Reeves keeps his hands up. If you sign up for the alerts and somebody messes with your gun box at your home or business or wherever you have it, and you're not there, you get an alert on your phone telling you that it has been disturbed, shifted, moved, or in some way fondled. And you can take whatever action you choose to take at that point. But the fact is, you will know if somebody's trying to get into your stuff, to get into your gun box. Go to thegunbox.com. And if you are going to buy one of the gun safes there, use promo code MOJO50 and get 10% off, which takes let's see, it's $199 on for one of the models. It takes down to like $169, which it looks like 10% sometimes go, 10%. It takes it way down. Like with the $299 model, it takes down $30. And I know, yes, Brad, that's 10%. It just looks good when you look at it in the checkout in your cart there. You go, well, that's a lot of money I just got off.
Pregnant pause.
Jeez, you people. Just go to the gun box, for crying out loud. Thegunbox.com and tell them we sent you.
Mojo50.
Yeah,
use the code.
Let's go ahead and do the headline, shall we?
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Yeah, that's right, Ron. I once again disconnected so you can't cheat or read ahead.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. There is by the way, these are 5 headlines, and I've double-checked. There are 5 today. Unlike yesterday when you had a much better chance of getting the wrong one right or the right one wrong. In this case, there are 5 headlines. One of them is not true. It's your job to decide which one is untrue. Think about maggot-covered cheese. Is that disgusting or delicious? To some people in Sardinia,
maggot-covered? Yeah, no, that's nasty.
If you live in Sardinia, the cheese known as casu marzu, a sheep milk pecorno seasoned liberally with fly poo and crawling with thousands of larvae, is highly prized for its unique flavors. That's just one of the foods you will find at the Disgusting Food Museum.
How do you acquire a taste for maggots and fly poo?
Well, you know that cheese itself is just like rotten milk. I mean, essentially, it's just spoiled milk.
Ugh.
Yeah. If you're curious about what bizarre foods are the most likely to trigger your queasiness, just wander into the museum. It is it's called the Disgusting Food Museum. It's in Malmo, Sweden. Those Swedes, they know how to entertain. Unfamiliar scents and flavors abound in the museum. Some of the very special foods include frog smoothies from Peru, the foul-smelling durian fruit from Thailand, not to be confused with, of course, the Vietnamese milk melon, which will send you into convulsions, Finland's salty black licorice, a bull penis from China, and you realize every time I say one of these things, we're sliding farther and farther down the clock over at AVN.
Yes.
We're going to be on at 1 in the morning. Fermented soybeans, a dish known as natto, that is popular for breakfast in Japan. The exhibit has each dish to qualify not only as potentially gag-inducing due to its smell, taste, and appearance, it also has to be thought of as delicious somewhere in the world. So as nauseating as it is to you, it is got to have me some of that to somebody else somewhere else. Moving on to Mooringsport, Louisiana. Sheriff deputies there say an alligator took a bite out of one of their patrol cars. WBRZ TV reports deputies were called Monday to Louisiana Highway 1 in Caddo Parish. After somebody spotted a gator in the middle of the road, the sheriff's office say deputies were waiting for wildlife removal experts to arrive when the gator opened its jaws and took off a piece of the front bumper. They say the gator was about 8 feet long. That's a big gator. They say they even put it up on their Facebook page.
Then they killed it and ate it.
Nope, they say the gator escaped before the wildlife removal experts arrived. Are you going to try to stop it? No. If it bites off a piece of a car bumper and then tries running off, I'm saying, so long.
I'm literally doing a Steve Irwin on that bad boy. Jump on his head.
Well, if you hold their mouth shut, they can't open them.
Right.
But remember, I went on a kick a little while, not too long ago on YouTube. All the dumbasses that put their hands and their heads and stuff in an alligator's mouth.
They deserve the right to have their arm eaten.
I swear to you, you're rooting for the alligator.
Yes, you
Come
are.
on, shut your mouth. And then when it does, you're like, ah! And the guy gets up and it's, he's got to pry. He gets 3 guys over there to pry the jaws off of his head. It's like, that wouldn't happen if you didn't put your head in the alligator's mouth.
I think it would take a crowbar to get it off. I mean, and those, because when they clamp down.
Yes. All their power is in the clamp down. They have
it's
very
the
little
spin that gets you.
Yes, it is. By the way, there's a YouTube video with a gator taking the guy's arm off.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's Bob. Bob fed the bears, and then he fed the alligators. There's another video of an alligator biting another alligator's arm off. And the alligator whose arm got bitten off, he looks at the other one like,
what the hell are you doing?
Dude! What?
I've seen that one. He freaking snatches that arm, and then he just goes
weird,
to rolling,
isn't it?
dude. Oh, yeah.
It's weird. It's
Twist it off.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And the other alligator doesn't really flinch. I mean, he's like...
Not again, Bob.
Seriously? Are they like a lizard? Do
I
they grow
don't
their
think
tail
so.
back? All right. Moving on to our next story, a badly made fake license plate has led to an arrest in California in Moore Park. A big rig truck driver has been arrested after authorities spotted a phony license plate on his rig. Had nothing to do with respect. How could they tell? Well, the Ventura County Sheriff's Department says the 1960s style yellow on black plate had wobbly letters and numbers. Oh, and beside that, it instead of saying California, it read Califas. Califas. He should probably go back to school. The department said Monday a motorcycle officer spotted the plate, pulled the driver over in Moore Park, northwest of L.A. He was arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs, possessing methamphetamine, being an unlicensed driver, and having an active arrest warrant.
Holy crap, if you're going to break every law in the book.
Try to learn how to spell California.
No kidding. He bought it off a freaking truck stop.
At least you know what? Here's the thing. At least he had an active arrest warrant because when those arrest warrants become inactive, they sit there and they get fat. They lose muscle
That's God's
tone.
little way of going,
Yes.
yeah, you're screwing up. Let me help you with that.
Yeah, that's, yeah, California. That's got an N in it, just so you know. In Parkersburg, West Virginia, a school principal there has been accused of plagiarizing Ashton Kutcher in an address to his school's graduating class. He says, though, he didn't mean to use someone else's work. I mean, it'd be plagiarizing. You don't want to be talking to a graduating high school class and be plagiarizing. I mean, we've just got done teaching them not to do things like that, to be creative, to come up with their own work. But the principal there, Kenny DeMoss, he issued a statement saying
I'm sorry, his last name is what?
DeMoss.
Gotcha.
Kenny DeMoss.
Dumbass.
Well, there's that. He has issued a statement saying he should have cited his sources in the May 23rd speech, but asserted the ideas were his own. I didn't get all my ideas from Ashton. Format, yes. Thoughts and ideas were from my heart. He wrote, adding that he's upset this speech has stolen the focus from graduating students. They posted a video on Facebook. They spliced his speech, DeMoss's speech with Kutcher's, and the Kutcher speech was from the Nickelodeon Teen Awards. Speech used similar wording and at times featured identical phrasing. DeMoss said the video cut out a preface that was supposed to make it clear that he was using other people's material in his speech. And he was quoted as saying, "Me and my family are the only ones being hurt here." Apparently he needs a grammar lesson as well, because it would be "my family and I are the only ones being hurt here." Wood County School Superintendent Will Hosefluke did not immediately return a voicemail seeking comment. And we move on to our fifth and final story of headlines. And this one, it's a fundraiser. The fundraising campaign has now raised more than $50,000 to help 6-year-old William Mitchell undergo skin coloring treatments, which will permanently alter his skin's pigmentation after he has told his parents he identifies as an Afro-American. He will now have his dream come true. Andrew and Carol Mitchell first sent their son to see a psychiatrist last year after he lacked energy, was sluggish, seemed constantly depressed. They diagnosed him with, they say it's white guilt syndrome. I'm sure there was something else. But he decided he was identifying as a black person and wanted to have his skin color darkened.
Brad, is white guilt syndrome a real thing?
Wow. Are you denying that this poor kid has... How could you be so heartless?
White guilt syndrome.
How could you be so heartless? No wonder people hate white people like you. I can't believe you.
Geez, that's got to be the fake story.
Remember, it's 2019. Since that day, he hates anything with the color white. They say they even had to paint his room a different color. He refuses to wear white socks, won't drink white milk anymore. Visibly distraught mother explained. But they say that the $50,000 GoFundMe campaign made things a little bit better. So there are your 5 stories. You have the 6-year-old, the Caucasian child identifying as a black kid. You have the plagiarizing principal. You have the fake license plate out in California. You have the alligator biting off the patrol car. And you have the nasty food museum. So one of those is fake. Your job, decide which one. My coffee, in the meantime, has been nice and toasty warm in my cat cooler mug. Now, you can go to catcoolers.com and you can get a mug. You can get a brand new cat cooler if you want to. If you use promo code MOJO50, you will get, 10% off? 10% off. And they will give you a brand new puppy.
Are you talking about cat coolers?
Yeah, they'll give you a brand new puppy, right?
Cat coolers is only Brandon, right?
I thought we had Mojo 50 too.
We might have. I didn't know that.
Start plugging names in there. Names and numbers. I don't know.
I think it's Cat Cooler Brandon.
Well, if you go to Cat Coolers, you'll find not only the cat coolers, but you'll also find the tumblers. And these tumblers, I'm telling you,
I like that tumbler. I do.
You know, at the same time that this tumbler turned up at the house, a cat mug turned up at the house. Like not a cat, like a cat, like a meow cat mug. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's drinking. Do
you not know where you got that tumbler from?
No, I've had, no one seems to know where this thing came from.
You don't think that was Doc's, do you?
I have no idea.
It's nice, dude.
Doesn't taste like him.
Oh, it's nice.
It's a very nice mug.
It doesn't taste like him?
Well, you said it was a Doc's mug, you know.
Oh, my God.
It keeps cold things cold, hot things hot. But how do it know? That is the question.
How do it know?
Go to catcoolers.com and get you some today. That's catcoolers.com. All right, so Ron, which one you saying you think is the...
Damn it, Brad. I was going to go with the plagiarizing principle until you came out with the white guilt syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That seems a little far-fetched for a, 6-year-old? Is that what you said?
Remember, it's not... a 6-year-old doesn't start a GoFundMe campaign. Adults do.
What the hell?
Just think about that. So I won't even make you answer right now. You just think about it. Mojo Jedi, though, agrees with you. The white kid story's fake, I hope. That's what they say. Mr. D Camp Director, 1 real, 2 real, 3 possible, 4 sure, why not, 5 I'm lost, what number are we on? 6 or 5, the last one fake. So, and then Larky F and Farkin, just wait until gators start wearing each other as boots or carrying each other around like purses, right?
Yeah.
That will be a crazy, crazy world. All right, so now time we're at 0 minus, so you decide which one you think is fake now.
I'm going with white guilt syndrome.
All right. You sure? You can change your mind if you want to.
Nope.
You positive?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that that's white guilt syndrome?
That better be wrong. That better be the fake one, because damn.
Yeah, that's fake.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, see, the GoFundMe was only $25,000, so it wasn't.
Wait.
Just kidding. It was the whole story's fake. There's no. Well, I can't say there's no such thing as white guilt syndrome because there is such a thing as a white guilt syndrome.
On a 6-year-old, no.
You're okay. You're
no. His parents
this,
might be.
Yes,
his parents are having a white guilt problem,
and that's
they
the
can't
point.
put that onto a 6-year-old.
That's the point. No, but they would be the ones to
6-year-olds barely even know they're white.
Which reminds me of some inappropriate ads from about 100 years ago. There are a couple that are hysterical. No, but what I'm saying is it's going to be the parents who are starting the GoFundMe, not the kids.
I don't disagree with that. But how can a 6-year-old have white guilt syndrome?
I think that's entirely possible.
Exactly.
We have everything else. We lay all kinds of other syndromes on kids these days.
I guess.
Why not white guilt syndrome? Just saying. But that also means that the alligator did bite the piece off the patrol car, and there is a museum where there is food with maggots covering
with nastiness on it,
and people are eating it.
And the principal kind of did.
And the principal did plagiarize. See, I think we're missing the point of this because the craziness of the other stories is only diminished slightly by the fake story. The world is still insane and literally on fire this morning. We'll get to all of that and more coming up on your Daily Mojo.
Free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Hi, this is Lee Colan with your Leadership Matters Minute. You know, we live in an information-rich and time-poor world, and sometimes we just need to find some mental space. It might be in your car, on your drive home, taking a walk in the park. It could be anywhere. I know when we moved into our house recently, my daughter had a little space in her room with a little white furry carpet and a pink chair, and she called it her chillax zone, where she could chill and relax. Well, she was only 8. I don't know why she needed to chill and relax. I need to chill and relax. But we all need to actually chill and relax. So find that place for you where you could step back, plan, reflect, and just be quiet. Turn off the world a little bit. Turn off all the noise. Again, it might be in a local park, taking a walk, doing your exercise. Could be even just in a shower. It could be laying in bed for a few minutes before you just start picking up your cell phone. But find a place where you could have predictable mental space to plan and reflect so you could be at your best the rest of the day. I'm Lee Colan, and this is your Leadership Matters Minute. For more tips and tools, text the word leadership to 444-999.
It is so funny listening to these people because they talk to the American people like they're stupid. And maybe, you know what, maybe the ignorance is that bad in America that they just take what these people say as gold. But here's the truth. Now, if you want to work with people and you want to make great deals with people and you want to benefit the American people, you don't have to pick winners and losers just because, you know what, we've had a history. You try to make things better. You are listening to Unleashed with Jeremy Hansen on Mojo 50. Remember, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7.
Mojo 50. The Daily Mojo.
Aha! You didn't get me that time. Ha! I was listening. Unlike Smacking Duck, who says, damn it, I keep getting distracted and not listening to the stories. Novelty must have worn off. Well, it's probably a good time to tell you that tomorrow and all next week, then, we are, and by we, I mean, well, the Daily Mojo is filling in for Chris Salcedo over on Newsmax. And I think that is in the second hour. I'm also fairly certain that Newsmax has never watched the program. They will... Much like AVN. They will be shifting our time to 2 in the morning. So I think we're going to rearrange things for the next week or so, and I will be doing the show without pants. No, I mean, I'll be wearing pants next week. I always get that confused. Am I going to be wearing pants or am I not wearing pants? And sometimes that's embarrassing, especially if I'm going to the mall. Handy J has joined us behind the glass.
Good morning.
You look very nice today.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
Is that a new wig?
Well, it's a new style.
I like it.
I brushed the hair over to the left instead of the right.
I like it.
Right?
See?
And I shaved.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what you shaved.
Well.
Uh-huh. There's that. A story we have not heard much from in the past few weeks is the CollegeGate scandal. The news cycle anymore is just so, it's like the spinning meter on an electrical, the electrical box outside your home. It's spinning so fast, things go by the wayside. One of the guys here, his name was, he was a Stanford University head sailing coach, John Vandermeer. He called his role in the college admissions cheating scandal the biggest mistake of his life. He pleaded guilty, admitting to taking bribes from Mr. Singer. That was the ringleader of the whole thing for Stanford sailing program in exchange for flagging some of the college counselors' clients as recruited athletes. This one is the, let's see, he was the, sailing coach, because it was the, what do you call them? The rowers. There was one, I think wasn't it Felicity Huffman's kid that had never like been in a boat or something. So they literally photoshopped her into one of those canoes. This thing was crazy. So anyway, he got sentenced to 1 day in prison. He's also, by
the time he checked in, it'd be time to check out.
Pretty much, yeah. They process you and he can turn around and leave. He faces 2 years of supervised release after his, first after he gets out of the day in prison. He gets 6 months home confinement with electronic monitoring, and then 2 years of supervised release, and must pay a $10,000 fine. Prosecutors had asked for 13 months in prison and a year of supervised release. But the district judge said that she was moved to impose a softer sentence than what the government recommended because Mr. Vandermeer's unique position in the case, having not pocketed money for himself. That makes him a dumbass if he's just a funnel.
Right?
Why would you ever agree to be a funnel? So you're taking all of the risk and you're not getting any money. Dude, you're doing it wrong. Just so you know.
Just trying to be a nice guy, Brad. That's all. You know.
Look, I was just trying to be
help
cooperative.
Dreams come true.
Right. That's all.
What do you got to be such a hater for?
I know.
What's that about?
It's my white guilt complex.
And why was there no bell when you said funnel? Thank you.
Sorry. I'm doing 3.5 jobs in here now. I'm starting to think it's my cologne.
It probably
I think it's I really do. I think that I just drive people out of the studio. And you weren't here earlier when I discussed it. I've been, since about 1 this morning, I've been up, my neck decided to do its spasming thing again. So have the dump button ready is all I'm saying, because you never know what I'm going to say. Just make sure that we have the delays up at full speed.
Yeah.
We can dump out at any point.
So have you gone to the doctor yet about the neck?
I hate doctors. They always find
you
something
going to the
wrong with
chiropractor?
Chiropractor.
What about an acupuncturist?
That's whack medicine. Stuck with needles?
Yeah.
Oh!
Come on. It'll help.
No, there's nothing out there that could help me. The governor of Montana, by the way, when we went through the songs of the walkout songs of candidates on the Democrat side yesterday, and we said, who is Steve Bullock? He is the Montana governor. Because literally going through all of 23, there's no reason to even begin to learn who all 23 of them are, because most of them won't be around. He's still on the outside looking in when it comes to the first Democrat national primary debate. After the deadline to qualify passed last night, he touts his success in a red state as a playbook for defeating President Donald Trump next year. He failed to earn 1% in 3 qualifying polls as identified by the Democratic National Committee. So if you can't get 1%, you're doing it wrong too. John Tester, on the other hand, did in fact endorse the governor, Steve Bullock. John Tester is a U.S. senator from Montana. He's endorsed. Apparently, he's the only one voting. Apparently for Steve Bullock.
Hey, do you get the feeling that these endorsements don't mean squat anymore? I mean,
yes.
You can endorse all day long, right? Oh, I endorse this person.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Well, here's the thing: the only endorsement right now in the Democrat Party that means diddly do I don't even have to say her name. That's it. That's the only endorsement that means anything in that party. And who the hell knows which way she's going to go? No idea. I mean, it just depends on what side of the crazy bed she gets up on. Speaking of crazy, if you want to, you can buy into crazy now over at, you have to go to England to do it. There's a small building in England, once a medieval prison for people accused of witchcraft. Which, by the way, shouldn't we bring that back? I mean,
absolutely.
We're pretty close to it right now. I mean, we're fairly close to witch trials right now. So why not just bring them back full force? Start burning people at the stake. It would, I mean,
we'd solve a lot of problems.
We really would.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just wouldn't find half this craziness going on. Plus, it would be entertaining. And don't you know that if that was on the table right now, though, the Democrats would have, we want to burn the president at the stake. That's it. Just tie him up, burn him. And some people, yeah, that's a great idea. So this small building in England, it was once the prison. It is now for sale. It was known as the Cage. I guess when the witches were found guilty of being witches, they were held in the cage. They say the house is haunted, with some people calling it the most haunted house in England. That's at least what the British real estate agency Home Domus.
How cool would that be to own that place?
I find haunted houses fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Turn it into a bread
fascinating.
and breakfast.
Yes, but you know what? You buy it. Here's what you do. You buy it first. Then you go in there and you just kind of let everything die down. And then you install all the electronic stuff, like little things that'll just, in the ceiling, they'll just weird little noises.
Right.
Just little things all around the house that no one's ever going to be able to find because you put them in the wall. So they literally have to take the wall apart. There's got to be all kinds of little things you could do and just and have that be, and then open it up and say, it's we've cleaned the place up and we're all ready. And then just every couple of months, people are going to get out of there and go, oh, I heard all this stuff in the walls and in the ceiling. It was crazy. Then you jack your prices up. I mean, why hasn't anybody else thought of this?
Right.
It's in St. Osyth in Essex, UK. The building was recently placed on the market by the owner, one Vanessa Mitchell. Third time Mitchell has tried to sell the Cage since she moved out 11 years ago. She reportedly fled the house in 2004 and moved elsewhere after seeing mysterious blood spatters and being physically attacked by malevolent ghosts. So maybe you don't even have to install any of that electronic stuff. I mean, maybe it comes pre-equipped with ghosts.
Right. It sounds like fun. You know what? That'd be a great place for us to be able to do our next Mojo Con.
Yes. It even comes with a satanic-looking goat.
Get out of here.
Well, that's what she says she was physically attacked by. A satanic-looking goat.
So maybe the goat was just excited to see her.
Or maybe it was Nancy Pelosi. I don't know.
Oh.
Hell.
Oh.
I told you. Had the dump button ready. You just never know. During the trials, women accused, they were housed there. Ursula Kemp was one of the women who was there. She was a local healer who was sentenced to death by hanging. Didn't they burn him over there? We burned him over here.
You can do both over there.
Wow.
And stone them, too.
Wow.
Don't forget about stoning. That's important.
True. You don't want to kill him with the stones. You want to make that last. She is commemorated in a plaque that hangs, literally, on one of the former prison's walls. So that the house could be yours, and it's for the wee little price of £240,000.
Which means what in dollars?
More.
It means more in dollars?
More dollars. Yeah. Pounds, let's see, 240 be, let me do some quick mental math. It's $305,478, if I did my math correctly.
Wow, that's impressive.
And if the number is right here on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, if I did the math correctly in my head, I would never stoop to.
How many square feet? What are we looking at? Or is it a 3-story, 2-story? Is it a 1-story? I mean, is it a ranch style looking thing? What are we talking about?
It's do you have my screen up in there? Is it still let me push this button and you can take a look at it yourself. Ready? It is
let me know when you're ready.
You tell me when it shows up there. It should be.
There we go.
There it is right there.
All right.
It is painted a nice baby poop greenish yellow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
If you can stand the color.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's only $305,000 US.
And it looks like it's right off the roadway too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That'd make a great B&B.
Yes, it would. That would be that right there, that is reason enough to move back to the UK. After all, we did kick their ass in the war. Just saying. The box here on the table I've been holding out, I don't know that you were here the day that I got really excited. I realized I may have been getting old when I saw the commercial on television for this, and I thought, oh, I have to have one. It just looked like it would make life so much easier every morning. And I don't know if it helps at night, but every morning when I get up and I have to get ready, I thought, man, that would things won't hurt. Things will be so much easier to do if I only had.
Oh, my goodness.
If I only had a sock slider.
Look.
And now I have a sock slider. If you haven't seen this, the sock slider is amazing. It is. If you've never seen how this thing works, I should pull up a video of it because and I don't think you have to be old. I do not think you have to be old to use this. This is something that is good for you if you just don't have range of motion, or if you're just silly, kind of lazy.
Use Sock Slider for the fastest, easiest way to put your socks on and take them off.
And who knew? I thought just sitting down and putting them on and taking them off was the fastest way, but no.
To assemble, align the sock cradle with the notch in the Sock Slider system's base and gently push down until the sock cradle is in position.
See, here's the thing, though. This is like prep work.
Firmly push together the two pieces of the handle until it is secure.
Yes, and once you do this, you'll never have to work to put your socks on again.
Sock Slider. Place your sock heel side down in the Sock Slider system.
It's getting sexy, isn't it? It's getting sexy.
Roll the cuff down the sides of the cradle until the toe is at the top.
Mm-hmm. Got to get your toes up at the top. You know you want one.
Use the handle to gently lower the Sock Slider system to the floor.
Hey, those are my feet.
Slowly ease your foot into the sock opening, sliding your heel to the bottom of the sock.
Did she just say slowly ease your foot into the sock slider?
That's beautiful, man.
It's getting
Rewind. That part's really exciting.
It's really kind of
go back just about 5 seconds. I want to hear her say it again.
Yes, she talks
pretty. Into the sock opening, sliding your heel.
Hold on.
Slowly ease your foot into the sock opening, sliding your heel to the bottom of the sock cradle until the sock is fully on your foot.
Look at that! Look at that!
If needed, use the handle to hold the Sock Slider system's cradle in place.
Is that not just sexy as all get out?
Use Sock Slider system with any sock.
And you can use it with any sock. Any sock at all.
Yeah.
Any sock that you have, you stick it in there, you put your foot in, and you have got your sock on your foot. Now, you tell me that wouldn't be sexy for $40, for $39.95.
So you got one. Look
for
at you.
$29.90. Would you pay $29.95 for? I mean, come on. How about if I said it was $19.95?
How about 4 easy payments of $9.95?
How about I found it at Ollie's and it was $5?
Shut up.
I know, right? Ollie's is like, it's okay. Here's the way I describe Ollie's. Ollie's is like Big Lots, but not as classy.
Because Big Lots is the upper end of class.
And I challenge you to go to Ollie's and see if you disagree.
Okay.
But it is one of those places where you go in and you don't need anything. You just, look at that place. It's Ollie's. And it says it has a bunch of stuff and it's cheap. And you go in there and you have no intention of buying anything, and you will walk out with at least 4 or 5 things, because you'll walk by and you go,
Look, something I don't need.
$2?
Right?
Oh.
I don't need it, but I gotta have it.
Yes. It's so cheap you cannot pass it up. Much like my ex-girlfriend. Hey-oh.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
I'll be here all week.
You know, actually, I have one of those.
A cheap girlfriend?
Not that sock thing itself, but I have a device like that.
Uh-huh.
And basically, man, it functions the same way, except mine has 2 ropes, one on each side.
That sounds handy.
It is handy. Thank you very much, because my knees don't bend, right?
See?
So that device right
Handy.
there wouldn't.
See what I did?
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so those things are pretty cool. I mean, if it works for you, then it works for you.
Now, is this a device that you made, had made, or bought?
It's a device that I bought. Yes.
I was going to say, because if you made it, we've got a really good patent lawsuit against these guys.
Right. Yeah.
We could have been rich.
We could have.
Damn it.
I'll make something else and we'll see somebody else.
Please do.
Give me a couple of minutes.
All right. In the meantime, however, I may, it might be interesting just to shoot a little video of using this thing. So we'll see if that happens, if that gels, if it's entertaining.
I tell you what, shoot a video of you doing it, and I'll shoot a video of me using mine, and we'll see who does it quicker.
I like that.
Right?
I like.
Who can do it slower, faster?
With or without pants?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm good either way.
That's what I like about you. You're willing.
Yes.
You are young and willing. Oh, you're willing. And easily convincible. Good news if you are a MoviePass stockholder, there is going to be a stock split. We haven't done a MoviePass update in a while, and I thought, you know what, why have we not paid any attention to MoviePass? It's this once behemoth app business idea that soared to the heights and then crashed just as quickly because it really just didn't work the way they'd intended it to. And the stock price at the moment, well, let me tell you first about the stock split. And technically it's not a split, it's a reverse split. So if you own, let's say 1,000 shares of MoviePass right now, when it splits, if they get this approved, you'll have 1 share. So it's
that seems like you're going backwards.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was such a good idea at all to invest in MoviePass, does it now? Because right now the price sits at that would be 0.003 of a cent, right? Yeah. So 0.003. If I'm doing my math right, does that mean that as a whole share it'll be worth a penny?
Well, now we're talking. Now we're talking something tangible.
Yes. Now,
I can see that. That's smart.
You start climbing in the 1 cent range. I mean, when you're down around 0.002 per share, pretty much anything in upward of that looks good. So that's going to reduce the share count of MoviePass from about 3 million outstanding shares to 3 million. Or 3 million shares.
Wait, it's going down to 3 million.
It's going from 3 billion to 3 million.
Good Lord.
And you know what? I will give this to MoviePass. They are like the cat, you know, the meme of the cat with his little claws, a kitten hanging onto the branch.
Right.
It says hang in there.
Yeah.
Or let's say the snake, the frog with his mouth open and you see the snake in his throat and it's like, never give up. And that's what MoviePass is. They are not giving up. It doesn't matter. They could be on fire right now and they would not be giving up. So I have to give them credit for that. But they are, again, if you have a MoviePass stock, it is going to do 1,000 for 1 split, reverse split. I mean, they only lost $266 million last year. What do you want from them? Time for a little eye candy. Now, this might be reason enough to vote for Joe Biden. This is his son, Hunter Biden, has a new wife. Her name is Melissa Cohen. And the New York Post has they posted a few pictures of Melissa Cohen, or Mrs. Hunter Biden, as it were, on their website. And
damn,
yes, Melissa Cohen is not unfortunate looking. She's a South African-born divorcee. She now lives in L.A. She is hitting the beach in a bikini in that shot. Now, well, and she's given a peace sign in this photo. And she's, for those of you listening to the podcast, Handy J, how would you describe Mrs. Hunter Biden?
I'm going to say she's got a lot of stuff in her lips.
She does look like she may have had the injections.
Yeah.
The collar. I should probably clarify that. The collagen.
Yeah, I'm thinking she's cute, but I don't think she's going to age well.
She's no, I'm not going to suggest that she's not smart for marrying Hunter Biden, but
I think the peace sign shows that she's a true American. That's impressive.
Except that she's actually from South Africa.
Right.
That's all right.
I know, but she's trying to fit in.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know what?
Assimilating.
She's doing a fine job of it.
Zoom in on that.
Yes.
Bring that up a little closer.
Yes. Oh, I fully intend to. Here she is on the beach. So there's some wherever she is. That's some nice water right there. You're supposed to say there's water in that picture. So it's her standing on the beach in a bikini with some sort of a top over the top of it, and there she is with two lions. She's posing with two lions on a safari. Technically, those are two lionesses.
Because that's what people do when you're on safari.
Yes.
Yeah.
There she is laying on the beach. She does not wear clothes a lot, does she? I mean,
It doesn't appear to.
This is a woman who she'd probably make a very good traveling partner because you wouldn't have to be like, why are you bringing 18 suitcases with you? It'd be, she fits everything into a laptop bag.
Boom. That's all you need. Those bikinis don't take up a whole lot of room.
No, they don't. And that one doesn't take up a whole lot of room on her.
Zoom in on that one.
That's another picture of this is again where this is just research for the upcoming election.
Get a little tighter. Can you get it a little tighter?
Hold on.
Bring it in.
That's it.
That's it right there?
Yes. So that is, and I do this because I'm going to pose a question, and there's a few more pictures. Her posing with a local there in South Africa.
She's very cultural aware.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She's there taking a selfie with a carved statue and flowers in her hair, and more flowers, and so she's married again to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. So she's now Joe Biden's daughter-in-law. Which begs the question, is it a little awkward at family events?
Because Biden wanting to touch her?
I mean, well, come on. He's going to...
Right?
He's, pay time, family picture time. Does he come... I just want to welcome you to the family.
I see it now. This is going to be great.
Dad! Can I call you Dad? Yeah, I think you should call me Dad. Call me Dad right now. I mean, that has to be given what we know about Joe Biden and his proclivity for getting in personal space. His son must think, okay, do I bring this one home to meet Dad, or do I play it safe? Do I not even send Dad pictures? Do I not ever introduce Dad to the new wife? Yeah. It's possible they've not even met. With Joe Biden being out on the campaign trail, he may not even know what he has waiting at home.
It's gonna be a short trip,
and maybe that's why we haven't seen him a lot on the campaign trail.
Time to go home.
Could be. So I just I bring that to your attention simply because that alone right there should make for some interesting photos in the campaign season ahead. If you happen to be up in where is this? In Boston, Massachusetts, don't sit on the turtle. Whatever you do, don't sit on the turtle. There's a bronze turtle sculpture at a playground for kids in Boston at the Myrtle Street Playground. It was installed by the city. It was made by a local artist. It is probably, 4 feet long, maybe 3 or 4 feet wide. And so far, about 4 kids have burned themselves pretty well on this thing. It's a bronze statue in full sun, and one person clocked the temperature at 133 degrees on the
wimpy kids
on the surface.
Wimpy kids.
What is wrong with kids today?
Good golly, I swear. This country's going to hell if a kid can't sit on a hot ass turtle.
Right?
Come on.
If you can't sit on a 133-degree turtle, just pack your wussy ass up and go home.
Look at this old lady. She's doing it.
Yes.
You don't see her complaining.
She is.
She looks happy to be on that turtle.
She is riding the turtle
That's
right
what
there.
I'm saying.
That,
and
by
she's
the way,
even holding the shell.
Yes, she is.
She is not letting go.
That is...
she's happy.
Is that inappropriate to touch a turtle like that? I
think so.
Just checking.
I mean, is there a turtle handbook?
It might be. She is, by the way, the artist. She is the one who created the statue. Let's see, what is her name? Nancy Schoen. Obviously, she's not from around here. She created the sculpture in the likeness of Kemp's Ridley sea turtle. She's since apologized to the parents whose children have been burned, but she said there's likely a simple solution.
Raise tougher kids.
I was going to think, what would be the solution to, first of all, don't put the metal turtle in the sun. Yeah, that's a good solution. Maybe have it, in the shade. Maybe have water spraying on it. Then you get a slippery turtle.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you've never had a slippery turtle down at Dick's Bar down here, I'm telling you, the slippery turtles, they go down like butter.
You're so...
She said, I'm really sorry anybody got hurt, but this is something I think can be taken care of very easily. It doesn't have to be such a big deal. A blue tarp is now, or she doesn't say what her ideas are, but the city has decided what they're going to do is cover the thing with a blue tarp.
That is so stupid. That really is. That makes no sense at all. All right, so we're going to take this sculpture. This is really cool sculpture, and we're going to cover it with a blue tarp, so you don't even really know what it is. Maybe just build a canopy up over the damn thing.
The only other place that puts tarps over statues is Dallas.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, there's that. The blue tarp is a metaphor for government fixing something.
Right.
That is what you get when you enlist the government to help fix anything.
But that's a $40,000 tarp right there.
Oh, yeah. And the installation costs another 10. I mean, you can't just, you got to put it on a certain way.
Is that a rope?
I believe so.
So there's 10 grand in the rope.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a city rope right there. That's a $50,000 cover up the turtle job, which I don't know why it just sounded like it needed a bell. So remember, the moral of this story, if you're in Boston, do not sit on the turtle.
Yeah.
It will burn you. And if I'd known that when I was younger, things would have been so much different now. So much different. Richmond Joe just tweeted what I learned today. Got to get the sock slider. And if I act now, I wonder if I can get a beautiful set of Ginsu knives. Funny you should mention that. Absolutely. You send in your check right now for $49.95. Just wait 16 to 25 weeks for delivery. If you haven't gotten it by then, you let me know, and we'll make sure that we get the sock slider out to you. In the meantime, let me tell you about... I don't have time, do I? Oh, crap.
You can do it.
No, I can't do it because I want to do it justice. I want to talk about combat flip-flops, and we'll do it in the next hour because they've been a sponsor, but if you haven't heard the story of combat flip-flops, it's an amazing story, and it's I'll just save that for next hour because it really is an amazing story.
That's a cool tease. You've got me like on the edge of my seat.
I know, it's about a commercial.
I can't wait.
And it's a commercial. I've just sucked you into the next hour with a commercial.
Wow, you are truly a professional.
Yeah, right.
Nobody does it like you do.
That is why I make the big bucks. Wait.
Ride that turtle, Brad.
Hold on a second.
Ride that turtle, baby.
I'm doing something wrong here. This is your Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Ratcheting up tension in the Persian Gulf region, 2 oil tankers apparently attacked in the Gulf of Oman.
The attack on the oil tankers left one ablaze and adrift as sailors were evacuated from both vessels. The U.S. Navy had rushed to assist amid heightened tensions between Washington and Tehran. One of the tankers was carrying oil bound for Japan. The nation's premier, Shinzo Abe, is currently wrapping up a high-stakes visit in Tehran, hoping to ease tensions between Iran and the U.S. This latest incident comes after the U.S. alleged that Iran used mines to attack 4 oil tankers last month. Iran has denied involvement. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
If a foreign power were to offer him dirt on a political opponent, President Trump says he might listen. The president says he'd feel no obligation to report it to the FBI.
FBI Director Chris Wray told Congress last month Donald Trump Jr. should have told the Bureau about a Russian lawyer's offer of dirt on Hillary Clinton in 2016. The president says Wray is wrong, adding, life doesn't work like that.
Correspondent Sagar Meghani says the president made his remarks in an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos. Boris Johnson has garnered the most support in the first round of votes in Britain's Conservative Party leadership race, while 3 other candidates have been eliminated. Johnson, a former foreign secretary and leading Brexit campaigner, got 114 votes in the secret balloting among more than 300 Conservative lawmakers. 3 failed to meet the threshold of 17 votes needed to remain in the race. Armed officers and an angry crowd faced off last night after a Tennessee man who was armed and wanted on felony warrants was fatally shot by U.S. Marshals in a working-class neighborhood in Memphis. Wall Street, Dow futures up 83 points, NASDAQ futures ahead 36. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Having an extra supply of food on hand is just smart. Some people call it prepping. I call it smart. You never know what's going to happen in this world. Go to mypatriotsupply.com. You'll find out a lot of good reasons to have that food and some great prices. mypatriotsupply.com.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Ranceviso. United 7. Mojo 50. Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. Eric, we've been seeing Mojo guys over there and over here at Spoonie talk about Atrantil for bloating. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
You're exactly right. The polyphenols are those molecules that we find in the Mediterranean diet. It makes vegetables and fruits very colorful. What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can actually stop inflammation. They can help you have more energy. They can help you with anti-aging. And polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Tell me how everybody should be taking Atrantil.
If you want to dose Atrantil, it's 2 capsules 3 times a day, basically with your meals. But if you aren't bloated and you just want that polyphenol intake every day, 2 to 3 capsules a day will work for you.
Go to lovemytummy.com/mojo. This is the Mojo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
The mothership has landed.
Why they're coming in fast and furious over on the Twitter here. Mojo Jedi. The meme is a what gun would you want right now? That's the I think this guy is about to get eaten by that must be Bob in the picture because it looks like Bob is about to be lunch for a big brown bear. And see, if we use warning signs like this, actually there's a little too much of Bob left right there. There should be just a few scattered pieces. But if we use pictures like that in Yellowstone and other places where there are bears in Yellowstone, right? You could get eaten by a bison. But if this is Bob. Bob tried to feed the bears. Now all that's left of Bob is 3 fingers and part of his right calf. Yeah, it's a little messy too. So you know what? Don't be Bob. Don't feed the bears. See, you get all cutesy and nobody listens. Oh, don't feed the bears. Be bear aware. And then everybody feeds them and they are shocked when people get hurt. Rule number 5, jackhole. Using the hashtag what I learned today, Real Brad Staggs thinks he's making the big bucks, and Real Ron Phillips truly is a stable broadcasting genius. See, that's actually 2 of the 3 lies you're told in life. That and something about something in the mailbox. I'll just leave it right there. By the way, Handy J joins me on the other side.
Good morning.
It's see, that's kind of that's like an updated hip name too. By the way, congratulations to Handy J. Who gave that to you?
I don't know. I think one of the jackholes came up with it.
See, I think I like that.
So it's
very,
all good.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, there you go.
And one of these too. So last hour, my time management skills sucked, and I did not get to tell you about combat flip-flops at combatflipflops.com. And here's the thing about combat flip-flops: it's not It really isn't about buying flip-flops. You may think that's what it is. This is actually a genius idea for actually making the world a better place. And I'll play you this. This is one of their videos on their channel. This basically explains why Matt Griffin is his name. He's the CEO. Why he and his buddy started this company. And just listen to this. This is truly
People
amazing.
ask us all the time, why are you doing this? Why do you want to make flip-flops in Afghanistan? As Rangers, we deployed there multiple times, and we got to witness the hardships of war. We saw the struggle of the local nationals. We saw the lost lives, the lost friends. And when we returned back as civilians, we saw the positive effects of business. It was inspiring. When we were exposed to the Afghan boot factories and what we had built, we were truly impressed and felt good about it. We had made something, we'd built something, we'd made a difference. So when those boot factories closed, it didn't really sit right with us, so we wanted to do something about it. We rallied a community of people that wanted to make it happen because nobody else was going to. So that's why we want to make flip-flops in Afghanistan. Fighting's not the solution. I don't think it is. I don't think that militaries and armies and police have ever really been the solution. They've been the foot in the door. They've created the opportunity for the solution. And I think that's what we have now. I think that after 12 years, I think our guys have fought hard enough and long enough and gone through enough and hurt enough that we need to really focus on the solution now. And what can we do? I spoke to an Afghan once, and he said, Afghans love visitors, we just don't like invaders. I tried to keep that mantra ever since then. Combat Flip-Flops is about building a community of people that want to go and spread a message of peace and hope and send them that there is something that we can do together that's better.
By the way, it's the shots of the factory, the flip-flops being made. If you're listening to the podcast, it's local citizenry there making the flip-flops.
Hurting now. They are. Both sides. We're losing people, both of us. And so that's why we're doing it, is we want to do something different.
It's talk about a genius idea. And an idea that they wanted to do something positive. And I don't know if you could understand all of those words, because I think it got a little distorted there in the middle. But basically, he, having been in Afghanistan as a soldier, I mean, the horrific things you see in war are just beyond my comprehension anyway. And so these boot factories, they were there in Afghanistan making military boots, combat boots, literally combat boots. And these guys thought, you know what, it's much like the United States in World War II, the analogy is not quite exact, but when we had to make things for war, we stopped making things that we were using in this country on a consumer level. In Afghanistan, it's the opposite. They took factories where they were making tools of war, boots in essence, and turned them into a place where the locals could get work, where they would make a product, where they would hopefully help make a successful business, and then turn around and sell this footwear. And you can find the flip-flops. I've actually never touched these flip-flops. I've never seen them in person, but I will tell you this, that when you buy a pair of combat flip-flops, they actually help school an Afghan woman, give her an education. It's smart. It's really smart, because over there you have these kids that really have no, they've got no direction. With the kids, think about the kids who are brought up in that society. The women are not considered leaders. They're not allowed to be. You want to talk about patriarchal society? Holy cannoli! That we live in. That's why it gets so irritating when they try to call the United States a patriarchal society. We know women have the power. We get it. Especially on this program, you know that. But in Afghanistan, that's where women are second-class citizens. In a lot of the other parts of the world. And with a company like this, with Combat Flip-Flops, paying for the education of the women, who then in turn can pass on that education to their kids, because right now it's just the guys who have the ear of the Ute over there. So you got to break the cycle at some point. And that's the mission of Combat Flip-Flops. So again, if you talk about part of the money that you spend doing some good in the world, yeah, it's kind of like Patriot Mobile, that you're actually doing something in the world, so something good to make life better for people. That is what Combat Flip-Flops is all about. And if you go to combatflipflops.com, I bet there's a promo code. I bet I don't have it written down. But I'll bet you can figure out what it is. Mojo 50. It's one of
Sorry,
those two.
what was that?
It's Mojo or Mojo 50, right?
Well, so one more time.
Mojo or Mojo 50. I'm going to guess.
Mojo 50.
Go to Combat Flip-Flops. Use promo code Mojo 50. Not only are you getting the flip-flops there, but again, I say, remember when they were called thongs?
Yeah.
I miss those days. Combat Flip-Flops, you're doing some good in the world as well. And we're glad to have them back as a sponsor.
And if you're not seeing the video that you played, seriously, get a chance, check it out, because the guy who's speaking really did, what got me wasn't his words, Brad. You could really sense the emotion on his face.
Yes.
I mean, that he's a legit guy, and I was like, that right there made me want to order some.
And you will actually, if you go to their website, I think it's part of the TED Talk. Yeah, they're on the front page. There's a video right there, front page, Combat Flip-Flops, and it's a TED Talk that Griff did, The Power of Persistence, Creativity, and Respect. And it's really, it's an excellent video. These guys, and again, they, after having been through that, any war is a horrible experience, but after having been through that, wanting to do something positive for people and the planet and everything else, it just shows their humanity. And the emotion is clear in his face and his voice. It's just really almost gives me hope for people. Almost. CombatFlipFlops.com. Mississippi over on the Twitter. Mississippi gave Handicap Jeff the Handy J. Hey, whoa, where's my... See? This is what happens when I get up at 1 in the morning.
Yeah. Who gave me the Handy J?
Mississippi. I'm sorry it wasn't that memorable. Maybe next time. Hey, see? She made it.
Right. See, this is what I'm thinking. If you're going to do it right. So, Mississippi, we need to hook up one more time and see what happens.
Make up for lost time. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
It's not unreasonable to ask, is it?
Absolutely not. Not in this society. Women should do exactly what we tell them to.
Boom.
I mean, come on. Whiskey 6, hashtag what I learned today at Handicap Jeff got the name Handy J while being interrogated for the disappearance of El Jill Hole by the Whiskey 6 gang, which brings me to a good point. Where the hell is Lusty? We got a Lusty Jill Hole was apparently kidnapped from the studio. We got a ransom note, and that was it. This is like the worst kidnapping I've ever seen.
I think they're waiting for you to break. You know what I mean, as far as the anticipation?
Right. Mentally just fold in.
Because as it is right now, you're not there.
Well,
you can care less.
The problem is I lead most of my life is just in the curled up fetal position on the floor. So you really can't even tell when I break. Because it's just, he still looks like he's in the fetal position on the floor. Is he broken yet? I don't know. He's still whimpering. I just kick him, see if he screams. And I just, so it's really hard to tell. But it would be interesting to find out where she is. I mean, even pictures of her like standing next to the Eiffel Tower. Or, perhaps at the Statue of Liberty. Just something, we know she's okay. I think that's what the real point is here. We just need to know that she is...
she's alive.
That she's still alive. I was going to say if
she's taking care of those around her.
If she has a pulse, if she's breathing, if she can fog a mirror. And we just want to know that she's okay. Maybe we should go on television with a teary-eyed plea for her safety. Larky F. and Farkin just tweeted, I think you're thinking of Jellystone having bears. There are bears in Yellowstone. I'm not hallucinating that, am I?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think there's bears all over the place. And lions.
And tigers, too.
Yes.
Well, and we know where the tigers are. They're with Joe Biden's daughter-in-law.
Boom.
We've seen the pictures. Let us go back in time, shall we, in the way back machine to the hours before President Trump was about to take the oath of office. I just saw this story early this morning. The Obama administration, they are reporting, scrambled to purge 12 years' worth of transcripts spanning hundreds of speeches from the Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, that would be ICE, website, according to the Daily Caller. With a couple of clicks of a mouse, access to a federal government web resource containing 12 years of primary source materials on ICE's history was lost, wrote the Sunlight Foundation, adding that speeches dating back to 2004 were included in the purge. The caller notes that speeches from former acting ICE Director Thomas Homan were prominently included in the deletion list, including a February 2016 speech in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee in which Homan discussed the unaccompanied minor crisis which the Obama administration was grappling to manage at the southern border. What crisis? What
There's not one.
There's not a crisis.
Yeah, there's no need to delete anything. There's no crisis. We're good.
Yes, exactly.
Put it back up there. Go ahead. Somebody accidentally did that, Brad.
I'm sure it was. I mean, you know how easy it is to you're writing a document on your computer. Oops, I just hit the F2 key and wiped out 12 years worth of data.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's simple.
Who hasn't that happened to, quite frankly?
Hello.
I mean, geez, how can you possibly point a finger and suggest even remotely that this bunch of that the people who were in the White House formerly were anything but above board? Another example cited by the caller was a transcript from May 2016 in which Homan explained why sanctuary cities and counties and states put the public at risk. Wow.
Wait, there's risk?
Yeah, no, that's what they say. That's the rumor, is that, when you have these illegal types in your community, that you risk, being shot, killed.
No.
I
thought it was all about humanitarian issues.
Absolutely.
Being able to
these
get people
children.
free health care.
It's about the children.
Take care of them.
Yes. Sunlight Foundation offered the following commentary to explain the purge. It's not inconceivable that an outgoing Democratic administration might want to avoid preserving these public stances for future scrutiny.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wasn't the Obama administration the most transparent in the history of transparency? And everything else that you can see right through? Well, wasn't that their big selling point?
Sure.
That we were we were transparent, and we were the most crisis-free administration in the history of crises and any illegal activity. It is just, and
again, it was an accident, Brad.
I know, and I should not be so hard on these hardworking individuals.
Too damn critical.
I am, and really? I feel like I should probably.
12 years, right? Maybe they hit F2 twice, right? It could happen. The person behind the computer could be having a bad day. Maybe they were going through a divorce and they were crying, right? So they had tears in their eyes.
Yes.
And they thought, oh, F2. Well,
right.
That's right there by the number 3.
Yes.
So I meant to hit number 3, but instead I hit F2.
Absolutely could have been. This is an honest mistake.
Yes.
I don't believe, given the former president's reputation and the reputation of his administration.
Spotless.
I mean, these are people you would let babysit your 16-year-old daughter.
Wow.
I would trust them implicitly.
Really?
Yes. Of them? Joe Biden. He's the one exception. It was Joe Biden right there.
He's going to be busy with his son's new wife.
Yes, he is. He has to welcome her to the family.
Hello, honey.
That's
come here,
and I think that is actually just being.
Let me hug you.
And Dad, what? Stop, Dad! Shut up. You're touching my. That's not my hand. Speaking of hands, having 6 fingers is not as useless as doctors thought.
What?
I don't know why I thought of you when I read this. But there's something called polydactylism. And it's where you literally have an extra finger or an extra toe here or there. There was a newscaster in L.A. What was her name? Because she was in... Man, she ended up being in a movie. Was it American Horror Story and Freak Show? Maybe. But she had polydactylism. I think I'm saying that right. Where I think she had an extra finger on either one or both hands. Or maybe she had fewer fingers. But around 1 in 500 babies has it. Extra digits are considered useless and usually amputated not long after birth. I had no idea. So if your child is born with 6 fingers or an extra toe, I guess the go-to is generally snip, and they can't just go in there with a pair of side cutters and clip and put a Band-Aid on it. They have to go in there because all the muscles and the tendons and the nerve, they're all interconnected. It's a system, so they have to basically rewire the whole hand. Well, there's a new study of 2 people who kept their additional fingers. They have 6 on each hand. They can type on their phones. They play complicated video games. They can tie a shoelace, which they can tie. Whoa, they can do it with one hand.
What?
They can tie their shoe. Yes.
You have a video of them doing some crazy stuff?
I believe this is. Let me make sure that this is the right one, because if I play that other video that I have up here, it just would be embarrassing for all of us. This, I believe, is the. Yeah, I think this is the one, and I don't even know if there's. Here's the kid tying a shoelace with one hand. Now, the one hand has 6 fingers on it, but he actually ties this shoe. And he's tying it now, and it takes him, 25 seconds to tie a shoe with his fingers.
Okay, big deal. Seriously, I'm sorry. I mean, it's cool that he was able to do it.
But what I'm saying,
you can do it too.
Try tying your shoe with one hand.
I can't. My hands on backwards. It doesn't work like that.
But I'm saying, I could not even begin to get my 5. Well, I've got my 5 fingers to do some strange stuff. I don't think so.
I bet you could.
I don't know how you would with.
You just have to practice. If you lost your hand, if you lost your other hand today, all right, God forbid, I'm just saying, you would learn to adapt. It would take you a while to be able to adapt. Same with the people with the 6 fingers, or people with my son. It's missing his middle finger on both hands.
Okay.
He was born like that.
Right.
Right. So we had to go in and do corrective surgery and things like that. But truly, I mean.
Can he tie a shoe in 20 seconds with one hand?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I mean, I've never had him do that. But I'm just saying, it's one of those things. Yes, it's impressive, but. If that's all you did all day is sit around and play with your shoes, learning how to tie them, you'd be able to set world records.
Wow. You know what? There are less important things in this world than knowing how to tie your shoes.
That's why I'd use Velcro.
Damn it. Or magnets. Really powerful magnets. Why are we still using shoelaces anyway? See, you're messing up my whole point. No, he also types on the keyboard. Imagine, and I've always said, if you could get an extra arm, like coming off your forehead, how handy that would be.
It would be a pain in the ass.
Oh, no, it wouldn't. No, that's the other end.
No way.
Yeah, if you had an extra hand or an arm coming out of your forehead, think you could hold your phone.
Okay, so there he's.
Boy, am I glad that's there's a shot of him playing video games now, but at first it was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah. There's nothing. And listen, I think it's great that this person's learned to adapt.
Well,
but there's really nothing all that special about it.
But I think here's the point: is that for so many years it has been the standard. It's been SOP to a child has your kid has 6 fingers. Snip them off. Why? It's like circumcision. Remind me why the hell we're doing that now?
Because the Bible said so.
Okay.
On the 8th day.
All right.
You're supposed to be
right.
But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. Well, there's that. The thing is, we are stuck in so many, why are you doing it? Because we've always done it that way. That's why we do it. You got 6 fingers? I'd be pissed. No, growing up, finding out that, I had 6 fingers. What? And you cut one off and I was about, what the hell?
I want my finger back.
I want my finger back.
You robbed me.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I mean, why would you do that? What is the point? Because somebody might make fun of him in school.
Right.
You know what? They'll find some other reason to make fun of him.
Man, let me tell you something. That's a true statement. I mean, this is coming from a guy who was constantly made fun of. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, literally, I'm there one day, and then it's somebody else the next day, and it's somebody else the next day, and I just sort of cycle back through. That's all.
We're all saddled with baggage. We're all saddled with something that could hold us down, that could be made fun of, that could be used for ridicule. The point of life, I think, in a lot of cases, is seeing how well you overcome the obstacles.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
Because otherwise, it truly is all busy work until we die.
So you're saying that's all we're doing right now, you and me?
Just busy work. No, we are overcoming obstacles right now. You and I together, we are holding hands in an awkward way and overcoming obstacles.
Your hands are kind of big, by the way.
Thank you. That's I get
kind
that
of
a lot.
rough.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I want to say to you? I want to say to you. Come on over tonight. No, that's not what I want to say to you. I want to say. I want to say this to you. Taking advice from someone you know. No, I don't. That's not
that either.
Not that one either.
Okay.
I don't. Let's see. Maybe it's this. This is what I want to say to you.
Come on over, baby.
No, see, it's all just.
Wow.
Look, I just want to say what Patriot Mobile wants to say to you. Come on over. Come on over and join the world's only conservative cell phone company. See what I did there? Brilliance. If you come on over right now, you can get a free month of service. You can get a free month of service on all new lines. Come on over to Patriot Mobile. Take advantage of the limited time offer. Visit patriotmobile.com/mojo50 and find out why they are the cell phone company you should be with, especially if you want to be donating part of your money you pay every month to them goes to fund conservative organizations, not things like Planned Parenthood, which could be what your cell phone provider is doing, or some other progressive causes that you don't support. Go to patriotmobile.com/mojo50. Come on over.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. Mojo 50.
To serve and protect. That's often the motto for many local police departments, and in many cases, it's exactly what they're doing for the public that pays their salaries. But in Oakland, that motto appears to apply to cops being self-serving and protecting their own instead of the taxpayer. A recent audit done at the department points out they spent $30 million in overtime pay last year alone. That was twice what was originally budgeted, which seems very strange. But the further audit details should have the citizens of Oakland in an uproar. You see, the 217 officers in the department averaged 1,700 hours of overtime in the last year of the audit alone. Over the past 5 years, overtime has cost the taxpayer between $28 to $31 million annually, meaning that final year isn't a one-off. Reason points out one really bad example, with a cop that's in charge of special event assignments managing to assign himself to so many events, he has earned $2.5 million in overtime pay in the past 5 years alone. But another way, that single cop earns $500,000 in overtime pay in each of the past 5 years. But how is it happening? According to the audit, a lot of it has to do with a lack of proper documentation, to the tune of 83% of overtime not being properly documented. Take the example of another officer who somehow managed to be paid for 2,600 hours of overtime, aka 108 full 24-hour days in one single year. As if all of that wasn't bad enough, every hour of overtime worked means 1.5 hours of comp time earned for the cop, which then has to be backfilled once taken, and that likely means overtime for the cop that's filling in, and it all snowballs downhill from there. Not surprisingly, these issues have been well known to Oakland police leadership since at least 2015. Yet since then, nothing has really changed, and the taxpayers of Oakland are on the hook for it all. I'm Andrew Coppins, this has been By the Numbers, and you can follow me on all things social at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by Patriot Mobile, America's only conservative cell phone company offering super reliable nationwide service, donating a portion of their profits to organizations fighting for our conservative values. Call 1-800-A-PATRIOT or visit patriotmobile.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Don't forget to get those communiques in. Hashtag what I learned today. Fully loaded, high caliber kitty, sock sliders, and reacher grabbers. Fun toys available, often for free or donation at your local independent center. They make great gifts. It's a free commercial just for you. Let's see here. And I can't remember if I thanked Mississippi for the shirt that she sent me.
I didn't hear you do anything.
That would have been yesterday. You know what? I'm going to wear it again tomorrow.
What was the shirt?
Low-hanging fruit.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Did it have an arrow?
It did. I just won't tell you which way I was pointing. Or maybe I will. That's the thing I love about this audience. They just, they get it. They get it. Hot Rocky with an I says, if you're looking for another song with Come On Over lyrics, try this one. You know what? I'll just click the link here and see what it is. It is.
Here we go.
What is it? What is it? Oh, look, a commercial. I love commercials on YouTube. Oh, it's Rob Thomas. The Street Corner Symphony. Yeah, we'll use that one next time. I don't want to blow out the whole concept at once. I mean, you have to save something for later. Leave them wanting more. Don't.
It's easy for you to do, right? I mean, all of 3.2 seconds?
Did I get that extended by a second? You know what, by the way, I don't think I've asked you this today.
Huh.
Do you know what a satisfied woman sounds like?
Yes, I do.
Damn it.
Yes.
Nobody likes you. Stephen English says, I don't know, Johnny Six Fingers sounds like a pretty awesome nickname. Yes.
See, the guy was playing guitar. I'd like to see something like that.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine
that?
that?
You can twirl a drumstick between all 6 fingers. Bam. Bring it on.
I still don't know how the hell the drummer for Def Leppard does it.
His feet.
Does he use
his feet?
I don't think I've ever seen a video of him.
Shut up. Really? Pull it up.
Maybe I have.
Pull it up. Dude, he is phenomenal. I mean, he really is absolutely amazing what he's been able to do. But he also uses a lot of drum kit tracks as well. Just FYI. But he has done it himself here.
His
You're going to go on the screen?
This is one of his, what's his name, Rick Allen? Yeah. Rick Allen. So he uses his, and this, if you're not familiar with Def Leppard, what rock have you been hiding under? One arm, 2 legs.
Mm-hmm. His legs are all over the place. His feet are all over the place. But see how his kit's a lot smaller now?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it used to be huge because he had all these pedals. Imagine like a piano board beneath your feet.
That makes sense.
Right? Now, because of technology and everything, he's been able to make his kit a lot smaller, but he's also using pre-recorded drum
That's cheating.
Tracks. Well, no, he did the pre-recorded drum tracks himself. He's just playing it back.
He's just old. See, that's more about being old than anything else. Like, you know
that's
what?
just damn lazy, right?
You know what? I've been doing this for how many decades now? Let's just record some stuff. It worked for Milli Vanilli. But you're right.
I mean, it really did.
No, not
looking back on history, I think Milli.
In the end, it worked out okay for one of them. The other one, not so much. But again, it all goes back to here's your bag of crap that you're going to get to carry throughout life. How are you going to deal with it? And some people have less to deal with than others. Larky
You'd like to think that.
Yeah. Generally, you find out that even the people on Facebook that have the dreamy lives that are always having fun and going family and everything, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that you don't know about. Larky F and Farkin, hell, I got bullied and teased just for being one of, if not the shortest kids in my class all 12 years of school. So again, kids are just, and I don't know if they are, at their heart, are they mean or are they just?
Yes.
You think so? You think kids are mean?
Well, I think what it is, honestly, I think it's the way we're wired. We're all jockeying for position.
Right.
Right. And so we're trying to find our way. So it's just a natural way of things, of being able to make things happen. That's why I think this whole anti-bullying campaign and all that stuff is just a bunch of noise.
It'll never work.
No.
There is nothing you can do to stop kids from bullying that I've ever seen, and I've been around for a while. Yeah. And it would be nice to think that we would live in a world where people weren't, a-holes, but there will always be a-holes. They're going to exist. It's just, it must be a balance of the universe sort of thing.
Here's one thing that I learned early on that helped me. I say early on, it was once I got sober that I learned this, and that is other people's beliefs don't have to create my reality.
True.
Right? And there's a lot of power in that if you think about it.
That's true.
Thank you.
There is.
Thank you.
No, you're right. There is. If you let other people define who you are and what you can and can't do, you're screwed.
Right.
Not the good way. It's it's easy to fall into that trap, though. It's the fighter who's taking 2 or 3 shots to the jaw and he's stumbling backwards. You're at that point when if you let him get to you, you're kind of, your defenses are down.
Right.
And some days it's tougher than others, but you really do have to have the attitude of F them. Not going to let them define who I am as a person. And because, like I said, there will always be a-holes out there. There's one born every minute. Smack and duck. I did not mean to say smacking duck right after I said there's an a-hole born every minute. I did not. That was purely coincidence. As far as
because you pause.
As far as anybody knows. Soon, Real Brad Staggs will have a huge keyboard that has one pre-recorded word per key. Oh, that's a great idea. And will refuse to speak any other way on air. I like that. And if I could get a 6th finger, just put it right.
Good.
Put it right there between the hell. I'm working on taking the ones I have off. At this rate, I will. By the time they put me in the lake, I will have 4.5 on each hand. But yeah, I mean, could I make more money if I just had a keyboard with a word? Maybe. I like that idea.
It's not unheard of.
Nope.
The technology's out there.
I could pull a little talent fit, because remember, rule number 2. In California, how strange this would be. A cell phone tower that was installed on the campus of an elementary school there has been shut down after parents said it was responsible for several recent cases of childhood cancer. Sprint forced to shut down the deadly cell phone tower after parents said it was exposing their children to harmful radiations. 3 teachers at the school and at least 4 pupils developed cancer. This is according to truththeory.com. The report, Monica Ferroli, the mother of one of the children diagnosed with cancer, says that her son's doctors have indicated this type of cancer is caused by something the patient was exposed to in their environment.
Okay, so if that's true, that means the entire school would have cancer.
Well, but you have to remember that, some people are more genetically predisposed than others to get cancer.
Okay.
So, I mean, that'd be the counter argument to that. Yes, if everybody was exposed, then why didn't everybody get cancer? Then, yeah.
Now, if everybody was growing a 6th finger, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, take down the tower.
But again, I say, why? That said, why you're growing an advantage.
But you weren't born with it.
So?
The adjustment period.
You were born with tattoos. Or were you? Never know. We had a doctor tell us it's 100% environmental, the kind of tumor that he has. She told CBS Sacramento, is classified as a possible carcinogen. That tells us there's some evidence out there. We're not naive to the fact that there could be other components out there, other environmental influences. But the bottom line that we feel in regards to this tower is it doesn't belong there if there's any indication that it's unsafe.
How did it get there in the first place?
Well, I'm sure the school, cell companies will pay good, I'll say big bucks for space on which they can plant their tower.
Right.
A friend of mine in Nashville has one on his property. He owns a business, and they make pretty decent little chunk every month.
No kidding.
So, yeah, I mean, you can, if you're in a good spot, you can lease out your little piece of the planet to them. And I guess that's what this school did. In this case, it would be, I guess, the state of California, because wouldn't they own the land that the school is on? Joe Prime, another parent who now has a child battling cancer, says the tower needs to go before more people are exposed. The thing is, why hasn't, if that's the case, or if that's the cause of this cancer, why hasn't it happened in other places? If it has, I haven't heard of it.
Right.
You'd think that it would be all over.
Right. Maybe it's actually the cafeteria food.
It might be.
It has nothing to do with the cell phone tower at all. It's
yeah.
what they're being forced to eat at those schools.
I'm always, you missed the Museum of Gross Food. And I think that's mostly where they get their ideas for school lunches. That'd be the maggot-infested cheese.
Oh, God.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Have you had it?
No. Yes, I just had some earlier today. Right. Ron, get Handy J some maggot-infested cheese and put some jelly on top. Put some of those crickets on top. It really
add a little crunch to it.
Oh, it adds that spice that you can't get anywhere else.
Bring that on. Excellent.
So anytime I hear stories like that, the first thing that my little conspiratorial brain goes to is money. And nobody, of course, nobody wants their kid to get cancer. I mean, that's a given. But I just don't see how you tie this to a cell phone tower. They have microwaves in their home, right? I mean, why couldn't it be the microwave if it's an environmental hazard? It could be anything. Just saying. An update on those two ships over the coast. Let's see here. Zoom in so I can see this. Manager of the companies that own the two tankers that, let's see, manager of the Kokuka Courageous described the incident as a hostile attack. DHT Holdings and Heidmeyer, or is that Heldmer? Either way, the owners of the two tankers have suspended new bookings to the Gulf. Translated, gas is going to go up. It appears earlier reports of the front Altair had sunk were in fact incorrect. The ship's captain said that it is still afloat. VHS radio traffic confirmed it's damaged but still afloat. This is not...
So this is an update, is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
So catch me up to speed, because I'm not familiar with the story.
Let me go back over here so I read it correctly. It was, there are two ships in the, two oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman were, I think they, and I don't have a current update on the method of attack, but they think that they may have been torpedoed and they think it may be Iran.
Oh, no kidding.
The U.S. Navy's Bahrain-based Fifth Fleet told Reuters it is assisting two tankers in the Gulf of Oman after receiving those two distress calls. This is the earlier story. After receiving the distress calls, the details of the incident unclear. One of the operators made an unconfirmed report that a torpedo had hit his ship.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's things are not going to be good over there.
Yeah, if they link it to Iran, I mean, truly, if they did it, it's going to be bad.
Yes, it's not going to be good. There was just an update on Fox News that one of the tankers is on fire, and so things are not doing well over there. Another story is not, for whatever reason, and tell me if you've heard this one. A female group of former FBI recruits filed a lawsuit against the FBI. I think this was last week. They alleged a good old boy network at its 20-week training academy, which discriminated against women. In addition to gender discrimination, race and disabilities are alleged to be a factor in setting candidates up for failure. And one of those involved in the lawsuit is FBI Director James Comey. He's been accused by one of the plaintiffs of dismissing her complaint. Also named Mark Morgan, President Trump's nominee to lead ICE. Morgan oversaw the academy as a former top FBI official. Have you seen anything on that story?
No, not at all. But I do find it interesting that one of their complaints is that they're set up to fail. It's like, well, yeah. It's like going to doctor school. Not everybody's going to become a doctor. You are set up to fail. If you can't make the grade, then get out, because I don't want a stupid person operating on me.
Well, and here's the thing. It's the Kobayashi Maru.
What?
That's what I thought you'd say. The Kobayashi Maru is the training drill in Star Trek that the captains that were required to go through. It was one of the skills they had to master, was being able to get through this training session, and it's basically unwinnable. They're surrounded by Klingons. The Klingons start firing. The only real option is to try to abandon ship, and then of course the ship gets hit by the torpedoes, and boom, it's the whole crew dies, and they're sent there on a mission to rescue the Kobayashi Maru. And Kirk is very upset because he says, I don't like no-win scenarios, so he reprograms the computer. But
I remember that now. Yeah,
yes.
That's in the newer Star Trek, right?
But the story actually began in the old one, but yeah, it's carried forward in the new series. Or in the movies, rather. But sometimes in life, guess what? you are faced with no-win situations.
Right.
You are set up with situations where you are going to fail. And is that not as important a lesson as succeeding or winning? Shouldn't you learn how to deal with that? Shouldn't you learn how to deal with failure?
Absolutely.
And if, in fact, that is the truth, then I find no problem with it. Otherwise, we'll keep an eye on that one. And to, since it is Thursday, since starting tomorrow we'll be on with Newsmax, filling in for Chris Salcedo over on Newsmax. So I suppose I have to behave somewhat. I think we need to at least wear proper clothing.
I would think you'd actually have to have something worthy to talk about.
Why?
Because it's Newsmax.
They've seen the show, right? I thought we would go over today so I kind of get this out of my system. These are some prison terms. So if you ever find yourself in prison, there's some slang words here that will keep you from being bullied. Because, I mean, talk about a place where you're going to get bullied. If you go to prison and you are not set and you're not ready to just kind of melt into the crowd, you're asking for trouble. So if I said to you, hey, it's a dry cell, what would you think it is? And don't cheat by looking at the screen.
Okay. Dry cell. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking it's clean.
No, see, and here's it. In the real world, in prison, you say, yo, let me in the bathroom. What am I, in a dry cell? It's a cell without a toilet.
Oh,
see, you don't want, if you're in prison, do not say, if they say, do you want a dry cell? You don't say yes. It sounds like something you'd want,
right?
But it's not something you'd want.
Got it.
A cell block, I think we all know what that is.
So where you get to play with the Legos, right?
That's close. We're going to have to, you and I are going to have to work closely together if you ever go to prison.
I'm making notes right now.
I think that's a good idea. No, the cell block is just a row of individual cells all in a line. Gassing. If I said, man, don't gas me, dude. Which when you hear what it is, you'll be saying the same thing.
I'm thinking death row.
Gassing. No, gassing. That's a very good guess. Gassing is when an inmate throws urine or feces into another inmate's cell.
Shut up.
That is gassing in prison.
That's like monkeys in the zoo.
Thank you. By the way, I think it was the Knoxville Zoo where the monkeys were doing that. They were, crapping there, and then people were getting smart and, umbrellas and the whole monkeys outsmarted them. They put it in their mouth. Spit it at them. You gotta love a monkey with a sense of humor. Suitcasing. What is, if you're in, let's say you're in prison and you have been accused of suitcasing something.
Keeping something secret, hiding something.
Yes, at a specific location.
Oh no, dear God, no.
Sorry, you're going to have to state that in the form of a question. Suitcasing is when you hide something where?
I'm not going to say it.
Rectum, damn near killed them. If you are suitcasing drugs, you are hiding them in your butt.
Wow.
Yeah. See, in prison is sounding more and more like a vacation. Hell, it's better than going to the Dominican Republic at this time of year. A soldier. A soldier in prison is. This is a simple one.
Soldier. Somebody who keeps watch.
Soldier is somebody who does the grimy work in a gang. How to use it in the real world. My little brother always lets me finish the cereal in the morning. He a soldier. I have no idea how that ties into soldier, but in the gang in prison, you get to do the dirty work. If you're in the hole, what are you?
Your isolation.
Yes.
Boom. How many do I have right so far?
2.
2 out of how many?
7.
I am so going to be somebody's bitch in prison.
Yes, you are. All day and a night. All day and a night.
Visitation.
No, it's life without parole. All day and a night. Beef. What's a beef? That's a simple one, too. If you don't get this one, come on.
I've got a beef with you?
Yes. See, that's it.
Okay.
It's a problem.
Got it.
You got it. Brake fluid.
Wait. I didn't get the little sounder.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Apologize. Sorry.
Thank you.
What about brake fluid?
Brake fluid. Put the brakes on. Stop. Don't do what you're doing.
Brake fluid is medication for inmates with psychiatric issues.
Shut up.
So, I think if Ron was maybe joining us in prison, they'd be
You'd be heavy on the brake fluid.
Oh, heavy on the brake fluid.
Heavy on the brake fluid.
On the dude in cell 10. Cadillac. A Cadillac. I'm all snuggled up in the Cadillac. We can Netflix and chill.
Styling and profiling. No, your cell's the top.
Nah, a Cadillac is an inmate's bed. An inmate's bed is called a Cadillac. Punch another. No, I just gave you the answer. Diesel therapy.
Diesel therapy.
Try to, it doesn't work as well when I give you the answer. Although I could give you the answer and you tell me what the.
Let's do it that way.
All right. Punch another inmate in the face.
Diesel therapy.
No, it's called chin check.
You suck. What's diesel therapy?
Diesel therapy is a lengthy bus trip. So you get on the bus and because you're smelling the diesel fumes.
Okay. They're taking you out to be able to clean up the side of the highway.
Right. Yes. And you're taking some diesel therapy. Snitching. This is so easy. If you
telling on somebody, right? Ratting them out.
That's easy.
Boom.
And you've got jigs.
You've got jigs.
You got jigs. You got not jugs, jigs.
Okay, so since you said jugs, I'm going to say testicles.
No, it's to keep lookout for another officer. Where is your head?
Well, because you said
jugs.
jugs.
I'm so embarrassed for you.
You got jigs. That would make sense.
It's more, I'm just disappointed that you
What are you talking about? I've never been to prison before. What do you want from me, man?
Oh, you expect us to believe that? Jackrabbit Patrol. If you are on the Jackrabbit Patrol, what did you do?
I'm thinking something fast, right?
Yes.
Jackrabbit's pretty quick.
I think that is a fair assessment of the word jackrabbit.
But chances are I'm wrong. So
you know what? Don't be so self-defeating. Where are you going to get in life if you have a little faith in yourself?
So far, I'm 4 out of 10?
It doesn't matter. You know what? Little Johnny over there didn't get 2 of them right, and he's got 6 fingers.
Oh, poor little Johnny.
You're right. So come on.
Jackrabbit Patrol. Doing something quick as far as.
Yes. Think of that back leg. Just,
you had to go get something for somebody.
Thumper.
You had to go get something. You had to run an errand.
No. It's Jackrabbit Patrol is escaping prison.
Oh.
See, that's a positive. You want to be able to escape prison. You want to be able to get the hell out of there. So you be on Jackrabbit Patrol and you will be able to get out of prison. See? Now you are you're completely set up. You are ready. You're physically ready to go to prison. And remember that in prison, it is so much easier because you just have to lay there and take it. Seriously. It's the beauty of prison. And there was let's see, do I have time to...
There's always time.
Is there time? Because this is something you got to see. And it's not something that's... you may want to be able to unsee this.
Okay.
But this is what happens when you, yes, here it is. This is what happens when you are.
You want me to put this up on the screen?
Yep. As soon as there's that, and this goes here. And yeah, go ahead and put it up on the screen there. And
here we go.
This is not bullfights, but it's when the matador goes out there with the bull.
Okay.
Woo! Big bright cape that he's swinging around, and the bull is. I didn't realize those bulls got so close.
Oh man, those guys are on top of.
Yeah, I mean that's a bad thing when you are that bull right there. So just let me see if I can fast forward a little bit here because
this is pretty boring right now.
Yeah, it is because
there's really nothing to this.
There's really nothing to the bull except when the bull does.
Dude, if that bull's about to gorge that guy...
why would I say that?
Why would punch you in the face?
Why would you expect the bull to stick his horn right up the matador's butt? Yes, the matador got it where the sun don't shine by a bullhorn.
Oh.
And let me just ask you this.
Oh, God. He went back out there.
Yes, he did. But let me ask you this. When you are in a ring with a bull and taunting said bull, what do you think's going to happen?
You're going to get
eventually you play with anything that has sharp horns that's sticking out of the top of its head and you're that close to it, you're going to get a piece of them.
It really sounds more like my ex-wife. That reminded me a lot about my first marriage.
See?
That right there, just kind of negotiating
right.
Oh, honey, it's going to be okay. Everything's good. And, you have a moment of peace, and the next thing you know.
Yes.
Bam!
You dodged and dodged and dodged, and then boom, right there at the end.
There it is.
She got you. I think that's probably a high note to go out on, don't you?
He's probably one of the best.
Let's just wrap this whole thing up then.
What do you mean it's last call?
That is it. It's that last little boop to get you. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that Joe Biden's family reunions are going to be very interesting events from this day forward. And there may be some fighting, and there may be some dancing. And doesn't matter what you wear, because it's only going to be you and me there. Speaking of you and me, we also learned that between Handy J and Real Brad Staggs, I'm not sure which one of us is coming out of prison alive.
Right? I think I will. Because I'll play the card. I'll play the Handy J card. Yeah.
Does that fly in prison? I mean,
Sure it will.
Are you
sure? It flies everywhere else. Listen, man, I don't have to stand in line at Six Flags. I get to ride all the rides. I can literally ride all the rides in Six Flags in 30 minutes, whereas it takes you a day and a half.
Do you try to look pathetic when you ask them for it?
Sometimes, yeah.
The big eyes, right? See, yes. You got to do that. If you do that, yes, that absolutely gets you extra points. See, that is winning right there.
Thank you.
Zig the Jackhole Gator learned putting stuff in their suitcase. They must have been wearing the red hanky. I have no idea what that means.
Neither do I, but it sounds
you know what?
Totally inappropriate.
Yes, it does, and that is why I love the Jackholes. Wayne 007 learned that you mess with a bull, you get the horn right up the buttocks. That looked like a pretty clean shot, too. I mean, that bull, he must have practiced. I'm just saying, that's accurate. Why didn't we give the bull points for nailing it?
I'm sure, yeah.
You cheer the matador when he...
Right.
Why didn't anybody cheer the bull?
Get some extra hay today.
Right. Larky F and Farkin, as always, with the humor here. And I have a feeling that Handy J would quickly become the godfather of prison if he was sent there. And damn it, I think you're right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now all I have to do is go commit a crime worthy of prison time, and we'll find out.
3 hots and a cot.
Boom.
All I'm saying is that it...
I will have somebody wiping my ass.
That just could be known as just another Saturday night over at the Handy J household.
Yes,
and Leprechaun, damn it, he posted it. Okay, here's the deal. Leprechaun, we're going to have to figure out a better system of this, especially if I feel like a 5-fingered guy in here. It's just... I don't have.
You look like one too.
I need the extra finger to get all of the work done in this place. Let me just say that. In the meantime, we'll get the new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his Florida vacation. Your Daily Mojo has been a Ron Phillips and Handy Day production today. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules. You've been you got a bit shot of being right and being happy. Good night, Doc Thompson.
Peace out.
I think I'm going to go take a nap now. I've been up a long time. Long time.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo